Welcome in, high school football fans. This is Stark Media's YouTube channel. It is week 8 of the high school football season, and we are coming to you from North Canton Memorial Stadium in Don Hertler Senior Field as the North Canton Hoover Vikings will be taking on the Lake Blue Streaks. Drew Sarachman here with play-by-play man Jeff Tyler. We are about 18 minutes away from kickoff. We have a great setup here, great view of the game. Appreciate all the help from the North Canton Hoover Athletic Department, as always, making us welcome. Before we dive into a preview of this game week, we want to remind everyone that we've got 3 games going tonight. 99.7. It is T.J. Downing and Jim Ballard at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium for the Jackson Polar Bears at the McKinley Bulldogs. And then on Rock 106.9, it's Sam Berkwin and Jeff Shreve as the West Branch Warriors come into town to take on the Alliance Aviators. So we've got all those games for you, a lot of options. We'll try to keep you updated on scores around the county throughout the night. And we are going to, before we get into this matchup, we're going to talk about our power rankings for Stark County right now. And Jeff, we'll start with yours.
Yeah, welcome everybody. My top 10 here is like everybody's been moving around a little bit, but I got it coming in at 10, a 4-3 Perry team. They at one point was in my top 3, but you kind of never know what you're going to get there with the Perry team. So, but they're still in my top 10 for right now. Fairless, after back-to-back tough losses, lose 2 games by a total of 3 points. A good opponent, so I kept them in my top 10 since they were playing against some good teams. And then Hoover, this is the first chance I get to see them live, so I'm excited to see that. But at 5-2 in the Federal League, you got to keep them up there. Canton South, they've had some pretty good wins, especially as of late. So I got to have them in there. And then Jackson, for me, is kind of like Perry, where you never know what you're going to get. They're like an every other week team, seems like. So, but I still got them, in my top 6. And now my top 5, McKinley's got to be up there at this point. We've talked about them for several weeks.
Playing really, really well.
We've got a lot of flack for having you guys had them up there a lot earlier than I did, even though once I saw them play against Green, I knew they were real. So they're in my top 5. Now it's going to probably get a little controversial for me, and maybe I got the next 3 wrong. We'll find out. But I've got Lake at 4. They did, get beat last week. The way I look at it, they did lose to a 3-4 team. Mm-hmm. They are 6-1. Probably going to possibly bounce back tonight. We'll see what happens there. And then West Branch being 6-1, got to have them up there. They're having a good year, definitely good quarterback. And then a team you were high on the whole year, Alliance.
Yeah, Alliance got a lot of weapons. We had the opportunity to see them last week.
Saw them last week for the first time. Definitely got a lot of weapons. A little controversial, like you brought up to me. Hey, Lake beat Alliance. Now I got Alliance over Lake. So, hey, I could be wrong in this one, but
hey, teams change throughout the year.
And they do. They do. That's how I looked at it. I said, Alliance, it was their first game of the year. Might have had some jitters. Who knows? I think they're a better team now than week 1. But we're going to find out. And then, of course, like everybody else in the squad, I've got Masson coming in at number 1. Their only loss is to possibly one of the best teams in the state, if not the best team in the state. So, got to keep them in the 1 hole there.
Yeah, and for mine, starting at 10, I've got the Fairless Falcons. Like you said, 2 tough losses in a row, but they're a very talented bunch. Coach A.J. Sarbaugh's done a great job with what he's done with the program down there. Number 9, their first appearance in my power rankings this year, Canton South. Coach Dennison's obviously got them pumping on all cylinders on offense. Poochie Snyder's unbelievable at quarterback, so they are rising fast. At 8, I've got the Perry Panthers. They're a very Jekyll and Hyde team. One week, we see them, they look very good, and the next week they struggle. They struggled last week offensively against this North Canton Hoover team. Hoover actually held them to their lowest output of the season. At 7, I've got the Hoover Vikings. They are a team that if you make mistakes, they're going to take advantage of it, and they don't make many mistakes themselves. They've lost to 2 solid teams this year. They've lost to Canton McKinley, and they've lost to Mansfield. So this Hoover team, tie for first place in the Federal League. It's a big game tonight for them. At 6, I've got the Jackson Polar Bears, a team that we talk about is on a roller coaster. They were going every other week, win-loss, 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 win-loss. Now they've put a couple together back-to-back. Big blowout win over Glen Oak last week, and as we said, they've got McKinley tonight. 5, I've got the West Branch Warriors. Offense is unbelievable. Drew DeShields, 27 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. It's just absolutely bonkers numbers there. But I do like the Alliance Aviators tonight. I don't think West Branch strength of schedule, the teams that they've beaten are that good. They've got a couple wins over some teams that haven't won, many games. They beat Ridgewood, who has 1 loss, but Ridgewood has really struggled when they played bigger opponents. And then at 4, I've got the Alliance Aviators. We saw them last week. I think they have probably a top 5 player in Stark County, and Brendan Zerbrug. I think he is the best quarterback in Stark County. I think he is going to be a MAC quarterback in the future. They've got Caden Davis. They've got a bunch of weapons over there.
A lot of weapons.
And they're physical up front. So Coach Goodman's team, I've got them at 4. 3, I've got these Lake Blue Streaks. Tough loss last week to McKinley. Talked to some of their coaches before the game. It's a game they'd like to have back. They did some things that are very uncharacteristic of themselves, and they're going to try to right the ship this week against Hoover. At 2, I've got the McKinley Bulldogs. Besides Massillon, probably the most talented team in Stark County. We know their struggles to start the season 0-4, but Coach Antonio Hall and his staff, kept the kids interested. They simplified some things, and they're playing really good, confident football right now. And at number 1, just like you, I've got the Massillon Tigers. They're far and away the best team in Stark County. They're starting to get healthy at the right time. They're going to get Freddie Lennox back pretty soon, the speedster. They've got a ton of playmakers. They can hurt you on the ground. They can hurt you through the air. Jalen Slaughter's progressed really well. And on defense, they don't have any glaring weaknesses. So those are our power rankings. We'll go to just over some of the OHSAA computer playoff rankings right now. And right now, if the playoffs started today, we've got, 19 teams would be in the playoffs from Stark County. That would be a record.
Wow.
But, of course, the playoffs have expanded to 16 teams. And then looking at games tonight, some of these teams that are on the bubble, Louisville, huge game tonight against Glen Oak if they want to stay in the playoff race. Perry and Green, I think the loser of this game might be in trouble of not making the playoffs. We talked about East Canton, big game for them tonight. Tuslaw, they've got 3 in a row. So there's some teams on the bubble that need to, make some work. And obviously this graphic you're looking at right here, we put out every single week. We put out a ton of graphics every week. If you want to see your stat leaders, if you don't want to, log on a website and pay a fee, we put out your stat leaders every week. We've got great graphics. Chad Butcher down there at Fairless doing for us. We put out our power rankings. We put out stat leaders. We put out these computer rankings. Also, so follow us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We've got you covered. Also, Wednesday evenings, Jim Ballard and myself have the High School Football Rewind show. That loads at about 9-10 p.m. every Wednesday night on our YouTube channel. It's no fluff, no bullshit. We recap what happens.
Great show.
On the week before. We're going to move on to preview this game a little bit. Hoover's coming in at 5-2. Jackson's coming in at 6-1. Like we said, Lake's coming in at 6-1. Lost last week for Lake, but as Jim and I talked about it, I think it's just an example of, okay, it's a bump in the road. Now we've got some things to learn and move on from there. This Hoover club, 2 losses coming in. They were able to beat Perry last week and hold them down to their lowest point total of the year. Week before, they get blown out by McKinley. So 2 teams right now with playoff aspirations and 2 teams that would love to have a win. I think we're going to see a good game tonight. 2 well-coached teams. And we'll move to our injury report, and Jeff's going to talk about who sponsors our injury report here.
Yeah, so Injury report is sponsored by Leathernecks Nation. If you've joined us, you've heard us talk about them quite a bit. It's the Meduse chapter in Canton, where veterans helping veterans is their main mission. The Meduse chapter supports local veteran charities in and around Stark County, like the 22 organization fighting veteran suicides, along with the Sam Center in Massillon. They cannot do it alone, so stop on out on October 15th from 3 to 9 p.m. and support their annual Halloween party. They're located at the VFW on Mahoning Road in Canton. Check out all the details, including food, drinks, raffle items, and live music on their website, www.meduselnmc.com, or on their Facebook page, Leathernecks Nation MC Meduse Chapter. Donations are accepted anytime and at the door that day. A large portion of these proceeds go to helping these local charities. Raffle tickets are only $10, and they look forward to your support. Semper Fi.
Yeah, so as far as that injury report is concerned, we had Luke Roach, the running back from North Canton, a little banged up on his ankle. He will play. Lake got Ty Miller back, a couple weeks ago. That's really helped them out. And then earlier in the season, Jake Fuller, the center, went down for Lake. So two relatively healthy teams. Obviously, Cale Jarvis is another one, the quarterback from Lake, who had been sharing time with Will Butler. We don't know exactly what, if he was able to play last week. They went with Will Butler pretty exclusively, so we'll have to see if Cale Jarvis is able to play tonight. Now to preview this game in the CH Valos pregame show that we've got here. Jeff's going to tell you a little bit about CH Valos.
Yeah, so CH Valos and Associates, they're actually located on 1302 South Main Street, North Canton. Home, auto, life insurance, and financial service needs. Give them a call at 330-494-2776.
Yeah, we appreciate them, sponsoring us. They really help. And, obviously, if you're listening to this broadcast, you're close to the area. So call them over there, request a quote, and we'll get through our keys of the game here. Jeff, you want to talk about some of your keys of the game here?
Yeah, you and I saw Lake play a couple times. They got weapons all over the place. Whether it's Will Butler or Cale Jarvis at quarterback, they're both able bodies back there. Can both throw the ball. Will runs the ball a little bit more often, maybe a little bit better, but they're both solid quarterbacks. Be on the lookout for hearing three other names. Matt Solberger on offense runs the heck out of the ball. Kid does over 1,000 pounds in the weight room, everything combined. And then the two receivers, actually three receivers, but Nate Baker and Dylan Snyder, they were our both shared player of the game for us last time. Both good on defense, both good on offense. Real good. And then defensively for Lake, Evan Brady, he's a leader in the county, in sacks and tackles for loss. And they've got quite a few other studs over there on that defensive line. So as far as Hoover's concerned, I haven't seen them play live yet, but just looking at, a roster and a 10,000-foot level here, their line is big. They average 6'2" on their offensive line. So we'll see that. And Mason Ashby on offense, good receiver.
Very good.
Big brother. I'm sure some of those skills got developed with Big Brother throwing him in the rock in the backyard. But we'll see if that offensive line can push Lake's defensive line around there and make some holes. So that's what I'm looking at for them.
Yeah. So keys for the game for me is, obviously Will Butler. We expect him to take most of the snaps at quarterback for Lake. I want to see him learn from his mistakes last week. A couple turnovers. It was his first time getting that many attempts. And I'd like to see him run the ball when he's scrambling. Last week there were some points in the game where he could have stepped up and got a first down with his, feet like he's done all year.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him continue to develop. Ty Miller, Dylan Snyder, Nate Baker, Solberger, just a variety of weapons, like you said, for this Lake team. And then for Hoover, Carson Derlin at quarterback. This is his second year as a starter here. A lot of young guys on this Hoover team. They graduated a ton off of last year's Federal League Championship team. And Coach Baum's done a great job. You know, a lot of people thought this was going to be a rebuilding year, and they've come out, and they're 5-2, tied for first place in the Federal League. So for them, I think it is do what you've been doing, play solid defense, don't turn the ball over, and you have to get the ball to Mason Ashby as much as possible. If you look at their 2 losses, those are 2 games where teams limited his opportunities. So if Lake can come out and improve on what they've been doing all year, be themselves, and then limit Mason Ashby's opportunities, I think Lake's going to come out a winner here tonight. So before kickoff here, we've got about 3 minutes to kick off. We are going to talk about some of our sponsors. Go ahead.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service. No job is too big or too small. Give them a call at 330-606-1126. They're located in Portage Lakes. So give them a call. They're willing to travel over here. And as we speak, you can possibly hear Lake is coming on the field. I'm also thank Kishman's Fresh Market. They're located both in Minerva and Malvern. Simon Says Promotions. They have a ton of companies underneath that umbrella is Copeland Paints, Brooklyn Rio Photography, Studio Vibes, Brits Bows, Game Day Boutique, and Tiger Store. They're located in the old Checkered Flag Building, 256 Erie Street South and 59 Lincoln Way East.
Yeah, and Ben Wallenberg's Chocolates, located at 2520 Harrison Avenue Northwest in the Fulton Drugs Plaza, across from Stadium Park. Go in there. He's got Fresh Nuts Daily, great gourmet chocolates. You know, he does a great job. If you've got holiday orders coming up, you know, call Ben. He can help you out. Also, St. Joseph Care Center and Senior Living and the Alsatian, located on Reno Drive out in Louisville. Those late life decisions can be tough on a family. You know, they're there to help. They're always, you know, open to having conversations, and they can help you out no matter what your budget is.
Also, the Quarry Golf Club and Event Center. They're going to sponsor our scoreboard updates this evening. If you haven't been there, it's a gorgeous golf course. You don't have to be a golfer, though, to go there. They've got an incredible patio that I like to hang out on with the wife and kids. A good meal, a good place to go. So give them a call if you got anything there. 330-488-3178. Also, Spirit of Stark. They are sponsoring our Red Zone this evening, so we plan on you hearing that quite a bit. They're in their new home on 409 Erie Street North in Massillon. No job is too big or too small. They've got some state-of-the-art equipment over there, and they can do custom embroidery. They're at 330-806-6745. And then finally, HereOhio.com. They are sponsoring our player of the game. And we're going to pause here for a moment while we've got the national anthem.
All right, the Hoover Viking Band is wrapping up the national anthem. They are marching off the field, and we are just about set for kickoff here at North Canton Memorial Stadium, Don Hertler Senior Field.
And like I was saying, folks, we're going to announce by the end of the evening the finally HereOhio.com player of the game. Chris McCready's and his team are located at 1201 30th Street Northwest in Canton. Give them a call at 330-492-1212 or visit finallyhearohio.com for your free hearing evaluation. Just tell them Drew and Jeff sent you over there.
So the Hoover Vikings will receive the kick from Lake to start the game. Obviously, the dangerous Mason Ashby is back there, so I wouldn't expect Lake to kick to him, but we shall see. We're glad everyone's joining us. Stark Media Team YouTube Game of the Week.
Yeah, we've got Hoover in their orange helmets as usual, with the white and black stripe down the middle. All black uniforms with the orange and white stripe down the pants and white letters. Lake with their blue helmets, red and white stripe down the middle. White jerseys, dark blue bottoms with the blue stripe. So here we go, leather on leather. The kick is off, and it's a short one here. Landed, picked up finally to 15. Made a guy miss, got drilled right after that, got hit hard at the 17-yard line. So it's going to be, we're going to see Hoover 1st and 10 coming up.
Yeah, quarterback Carson Durland for Hoover, 6'2" junior. As we said, he was the starter last year, having a good season so far. Very efficient. He's big, sits in the pocket well, and we'll see if he can get anything going on this first drive of the game against Lake.
That's shotgun formation here for Carson Durland. Luke Roach off his left hip here. He's in a shotgun, 2 left, single right. Quick handoff up the middle to Luke. He got hit at the line, and he made some guys miss. Got a few yards out of that one, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 7, looks like.
Yeah, Hoover's got a very young offensive line. Through the first couple of games of the season, they were doing some things to retool there, but they're starting to hit on all cylinders now, and that was a good first push, 7 yards on 1st down.
Yeah. We got trips right this time. Shotgun formation. Roach off the right hip of Durland. Here's a snap, quick handoff up the middle again. Got about 2 yards that time, so it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Not so much push that time as they had the play before.
11:09. Thanks for joining us, folks. 11:04 and counting.
Lake did give up quite a few yards on the ground last week to McKinley, so that's something that I'm sure they'll want to fix tonight.
We got Deuces left this time. Wing back in there. Durland off the left hip. Here's a snap. Quick handoff again up the middle. And Roach I think he's got the 1st down, but maybe not. It's going to be close. Might need to measure this one. No signal yet. And it's a 1st down. 1st down, Hoover.
All right, so 3 plays, 3 runs. Hoover does like to go to those run-pass option sets, so that doesn't really work unless you get the running game going. So we're at 1st down now.
Shotgun again for Durland. Roach off the left hip. We got Pears left, Pears right. Here's a quick snap. Another handoff up the middle, and he got about 4 or 5 more yards. So, like you said, they're just going to power up the middle and just run it until they can stop it, looks like right now.
Yeah, they went in a 2-by-2 spread set there with the receiver stacked. And what that does is that kind of draws those flat defenders out a little bit further. So we'll see if that's something Hoover wants to go to tonight.
Well, and same formation, 2-by-2 stacked. Shotgun formation again. Quick throw into flats completed. It got to the it got a 1st down, it looks like, all the way to the 40-yard line.
And that's Ashby again.
Yep.
They want to get the ball in his hands as much as possible. That was one of our keys to the game for both teams. If you're Lake, you want to limit his opportunities. He can go right now. And if you're Hoover, you want him to touch the ball as much as possible.
9:38 and counting. It's 1st and 10. No score yet. And they got everybody packed in this time. Still in shotgun formation. Man in motion. Here's a quick jet sweep handoff, and he got hit behind the line. It looks like a loss of 2 or 3.
Yeah, they went tight end wing to the boundary, put the slot receiver in motion, and just flipped it to him on a quick pass. That was Zach Brocker. the sophomore, speedy sophomore for Hoover. You'll see a lot of young guys out here tonight, a lot of juniors, a lot of sophomores for this Hoover squad.
Pairs right and left again, shotgun formation. Up to the line, it looks like he's calling an audible. Got Roach off his left hip. Here's a quick snap, throw over the top. Might be picked off. Incomplete, out of bounds, nearly picked off.
Yeah, he tried to squeeze. So what they did is with the too high look, they tried to run the fade and throw it in the hole there between the corner and the safety. He got the ball out in time, just wasn't much room to complete that pass. He was out of bounds.
Looked like his receiver got caught up in traffic there. Sedmock come over, nearly picked it off, but the ball was out of bounds, incomplete. We got trips right this time, single left, single back. 8:42 in the first quarter and counting. Drops back, looking, going through a progression. He's rolling up, coming up forward, and he's sacked.
That is big number 54 for the Lake defense.
Riley Fuimano.
So a huge stop there on the first drive of the game. Hoover will come out to punt.
4th and 16. You've got some dangerous guys back there for Lake on a reception. Punt away, leather on leather. It's a decent one down, lands at the 40, rolling out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So we're going to see Lake's offense for the first time here, starting at their own 31.
Yeah, Hoover ran the ball a little bit there on that first drive. Lake tightened the screws. They tried to throw the ball, and not so much success. So now Lake has an opportunity. We will see Will Butler in the game at quarterback, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made coming off their loss last week to McKinley.
Will Butler's a big kid. He's a 6'3", 215 senior. He's in shotgun. We got trips right, single left. Solberger in the backfield. He's rolling out. Quick throw, completed in a backfield. He's running. He made a couple guys miss. Looks like he got back to just past the line of scrimmage there, maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah.
And that was actually number 2. That was not Solberger. That was Nate Baker in the backfield.
So they're trying to just flip the guys out for some speed, put Solberger on the edge, a big body to block. But Hoover was there, and they like to keep things in front of them and come up and make solid tackles.
Second down and 9. Deuce's right, Deuce's left. Solberger's in the backfield this time. Will Butler in the shotgun formation. Here's a snappy, quick handoff, and it is to Solberger, and he's got a little bit of room to run, and he's got about 5 yards. It looks like the ball's on the carpet, and it is a fumble recovered by Hoover.
Wow, big play there.
Getting chippy now.
Solberger hit the cutback, had his head down, and he put the ball on. Someone must have came from the side and punched it out. So he puts the ball on the turf. So a turnover for Lake, something they had 3 turnovers last week in McKinley, and this is not the way you want to start a ball game.
Definitely not going to be 1st and 10 Hoover at Lake's 36-yard line. So big break for Hoover early. We'll see if they can capitalize here. We got pairs right, single back, quick handoff, up the middle, got room to run, and got about 6-7 yards there to bring up 2nd down and 4. Like we said, this offensive line of Hoover is big. They're average 6'2", even their tight ends is 6'3". Don't know what their basketball team looks like, but they got some height there. Got single left, single right, wing back, and a guy to backfield. Quick handoff. He bounced it left. He's running left, and he ran a downhill over somebody. Looks like a first down.
Yeah, and that was Roach again.
Had good vision, came up. Somebody filled the hole. He bounced it back outside. And it is not a first down, folks. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and short for Hoover at the 29-yard line. 3rd and 3. 2 receivers right, single back. You got a wing back out there. Shotgun formation. Here's a snap. Quick handoff up the middle. He's got room to run, and he's got a first down that time, all the way down to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 Hoover. That was Luke Roach, just a quick off tackle up the middle.
Yeah, so they're back to what they were having success with in the beginning of the first drive. That's Luke Roach running the ball.
5:59 and counting here in the first quarter. One thing I noticed about Lake from seeing him play twice, they don't panic too much. Single left, single right, quick handoff, pullback, RPO, and he's running left, looking left, nobody. Made a man miss, and he's off and running, and he made a few yards out of that one, got about 4 or 5 yards when he nearly was hit in the backfield, made 2 guys miss, got out of bounds.
Yeah, so Derlin, dodges 2 people in the backfield to avoid the sack. Gained 6 yards on first down with that scramble. And now Hoover's in great position.
And it looks like Hoover's going back to that. They got pairs right stacked.
Fullback in, tight end in.
Got Roach off his left hip. Quick handoff left. He's running left. Big pile up and close to a first down. Kind of hard to see from where we're at our vantage point, but I think it may be 3rd and short.
Yeah, so what Hoover's trying to do here is they're trying to spread out with the 2 receivers, and to the boundary, they're putting that tight end in the wing to try to create an extra gap. So basically, if you're Lake, you either got to, put the extra guy in the box to account for the extra gap, or go play, man on man out on the 2 receiver side where Hoover probably feels they have the advantage.
We got pairs stacked right. We got the tight end in motion. Roach with a quick snap. Up the middle, actually, that was Derland. No signal yet if it's a first down. Looks like he may be short. Going to be 4th and
Yeah,
1.
Evan Brady came up, took Derland's legs out right from underneath him, and it is going to be 4th and half a yard.
And offense is still on the field here. They're going to go for it. We got Zach Brocker right. Quick
handoff. And
no signal
I
yet.
don't know. It's going to be close.
They're pulling guys off the pile. We'll see if he... Still no signal.
Depends where they spot this.
First down, Hoover. So we're in the Spirit of Stark red zone alert here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. 4:11 to play in the first quarter. This is Hoover's second possession. We got pairs left this time. Shotgun, drops back, looking left, quick throw completed. Made a guy miss and tackled at the 10-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Lake got lucky there. You cannot miss tackles on Mason Ashby, or he's gonna take it to the house. Luckily, after the initial contact, he slipped. Lake was able to rally there, and now that'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Vikings.
Pairs right this time. Shotgun formation. Luke Roach in the backfield off the left hip of Derland. Quick snap, quick handoff to Roach. He's running up the middle. He's got room to run, and it's a touchdown. Hoover touchdown. Luke Roach off tackle. Nobody touched him.
Yeah, they just pressed the A gap there as they started to get moving. He bounced it towards the outside, ran right into the end zone, absorbed some contact on the 1-yard line. So huge touchdown for Hoover after the Lake turnover.
We got the PAT coming up here. Hoover does this formation where they got everybody out to the left to see if they want to do a fake PAT, but they've got everybody straightforward now. Here's leather on leather. Kick is up, and it's wide left. No good. So it's 6-0 Hoover after their second possession. They're going to kick off here to Lake in a moment. In the meantime, I want to thank C.H. Vallis and Associates. They're at 1302 South Main Street in North Canton. They do home, auto, life insurance, financial needs. Give them a call at 330-494-2776. Also, Red Book Apparel and Clothier is another one. Quarry Golf and Event Center. Like I said, if you have not been there, please go take a look. Great food, great place to hang out. If you're a golfer, if you're a really good golfer and you want to test yourself, play that course at the Far Back Tips.
Believe it or not, Jeff, I am not a great golfer, but I do also enjoy the quarry. So The Vikings are set to kick off now. 6-0 lead. 3:25 to go in the first quarter.
And here we go. We got some weapons back. Nate Baker's back there for Lake. We've got Josh Sedmock back there, Dylan Snyder. Any one of those three could take it to the house. Waiting on signal here for the kickoff. Here we go, leather on leather. The kick is up, and it's low left. They may want to leave that one alone, but they don't. They pick it up, they take off. Nearly went out of bounds, but he got wrapped up at the 25-yard line. Going to bring up 1st and 10 for Lake.
Yeah, the returner was kind of in a tough spot there. You know, he had the Hoover Vikings barreling down on him. I don't think he felt comfortable waiting for that ball to go out of bounds in case they jumped on it.
It was a good decision.
So after the fumble on the last drive and the Hoover score, now Cale Jarvis is going to come in at quarterback and see what he can do with the Blue Streaks.
As we know, Cale Jarvis, Will Butler's a little more run heavy when he's in there. Cale Jarvis can throw, or they actually call more throwing plays usually with him back there. We got pairs left, stack, single right, fullback in, quick pullback, and it is a pass completed in the flats. Made a man miss, and he's off and running. Made another guy miss all the way to the 46-yard line, and that is Dylan Snyder. We said at the beginning of the game, you're going to hear his name all night long.
Yeah, Jarvis just took the quick hitch to the sideline there. Hoover's playing too far off. Get it to your playmakers and let them do the rest, and that's exactly what they did there for the first down.
3rd and 13, clock is stopped at the moment. 1st and 10 at the 46 for Lake, and we'll see if they can answer. Trips left this time. We've got two running backs, a fullback in and running back in. Solberger in the backfield. Cale Jarvis drops back, fake handoff, another quick pass, and it is dropped. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, that ball's – so what they did there is they kind of put a reverse bunch set out there where the two receivers are up front and one behind. Hoover only had 2 defenders out there, so they have the numbers. They're trying to get it out quick. It was a low ball and not great blocking out of the receivers. So that's there if they want to come back to it, but they have to execute it.
Mitch Gregory nearly came up and picked that ball off. If that was a good ball, it might have been a problem for him. So we've got pairs left this time, single right, fullback in, shotgun formation. Cale Jarvis with the snap here. He drops back, quick handoff to Solberger. He's up the middle, cut it back, made a guy miss, made another guy miss, all the way down to the 45-yard line of Hoover for nearly a first down.
Yeah, Solberger just doing exactly what he did on the first run, except he held on to the ball this time.
2:49 and counting. Going to bring up 3rd and 1 for Lake. 6-0 Vikings if you're just joining us. We got pairs left, single right, fullback in, and also Solberger in the backfield. Cale Jarvis with the snap, another handoff all the way up the middle, and he got stuffed. I don't think he got the first down.
Yep, it's definitely going to bring up 4th and 1 here, and here's where a Will Butler and a quarterback helps you out because you can just run him for a yard and he's going to get it most of the time. We'll see what they want to do here. Jarvis usually does not go under center. So we'll see if they want to snack it back 4 yards and try to get the single yard.
Sometimes when they have Will Butler, a quarterback in the situation, Butler can punt the ball. So they'll see what they got, and then they'll just go ahead and punt it. But they're sending Cale Jarvis out, and they're going to go for it on 4th down with 1:51 and counting in the first quarter. They are on Hoover's 45-yard line, pairs left, single right. Quick snap, and they went right up the middle with Solberger again, and he got first down and more, all the way down to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 Lake.
Yeah, and you know why that play worked, Jeff? Is because I look at the end of the play and I see 3 Hoover Vikings on their backside. The Lake offensive line just said, you know what, 4th and 1, run it behind me. Well, and they put them all on their butt.
They went right behind big Jack McAvenue. He's 6 foot 315, so run behind him. I think you're going to get a couple yards.
When you eat at the Hartville Kitchen that much, that's how big you're going to get.
So you got pairs left, single right. Here's a snap, quick fake throw, and he dropped it. Might have been a fumble. I think he tried to pull it, went to throw and pulled it back, dropped it. Solberger picked it up and got a yard.
Yeah, so it's kind of an RPO action there. They're running the hitch in the up the seam there, and ball slipped out of Jarvis's hands. Luckily, it went right into Solberger's.
Looked more like an incomplete pass to me, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. So Jarvis is staying in the game. 41 seconds left in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 10. Pairs left. Got Dylan Snyder single right. Shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Pulls it back. Quick throw. Completed pass. Nate Baker got it. He's running. He's got room to run all the way to the 30-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, not much there for Nate Baker, but he was able to break some people off and get a 8-yard gain. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 2 for the Blue Streaks. And I imagine they're going to let the first quarter clock wind down here.
So we got 4 seconds left. They are letting it run down. We're going to flip the field and do it again. We're going to go through some sponsors here. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, not too big, not too small. 330-606-1126. The Quarry Golf, one of the best in the area. Top-notch event center, delicious granite food there. Give them a call. They're booking over 300 nights already in the last 12 months there, ever since some of the other ones went out.
And we've got a Quarry Golf Club score update for you. It is the McKinley Bulldogs 6, Jackson nothing. Nino Hill ran in for the touchdown like he's been doing often this year for the Bulldogs, and the extra point was blocked.
I tell you, Nino Hill is going to be a problem for the next 2 years in the Federal League.
Absolutely.
Injury report is sponsored by Leathernecks Nation. Leathernecks Nation, they are having an actual event coming up that supports all veterans on October 15th. Check their website out, www.meduselnmc.com.
So Coach Dan DeGeorge's team comes back out on the field, threatening here. 3rd and 2, and Cale Jarvis is in at quarterback for the Blue Streaks.
Pairs right, single left. Shotgun, man in motion, quick jet sweep, handoff. He's running. He's got blockers. Made him a guy miss, and they're hanging on to him, and he's still fighting. He got nothing there. He fought like crazy, got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the play call there.
No.
You've got 2 yards. Solberger's been grinding out on the ground, and you try to go side to side to get those yards. You know, Hoover did a great job of penetrating and bringing Baker down in the backfield. So another 4th down decision for Coach DeGeorge.
4th and 2. Jarvis stays in the game. Start of the second quarter. It's 6-0 Hoover. The huddle breaks. We got single right, pairs left. Got a wing back. And we've got Solberger off the left hip of Jarvis. Here's a quick snap. Fake handoff. Pulls it back. Made a completed pass to Nate Baker again. Made a guy miss, and that's a 1st down, Lake.
Just so many weapons on this Lake team. You know, Snyder, Baker, Garrow, Jarvis, Butler, Solberger. I mean, they can hurt you in so many ways. Just ran a little speed out there, get it to your playmaker, and let him go.
It's like a law firm.
Mm-hmm. So they're going to go a little no-huddle look here and try to call a play based on what North Canton's lining up.
So we got pairs right again. Single left, Solberger in the backfield. Quick handoff to Solberger up the middle. He's got a little bit of room to run. And he's still fighting, got them legs moving like crazy. He's still fighting for a couple yards. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and it looks like 5.
Yeah, Evan Brady, the middle linebacker's in there at fullback for H-back in there for the Lake offense. He had a nice little kick-out block there.
He's a big kid. 10:19 to play in the second quarter. Pairs right, single left. We're in the red zone here. Rolling right, looking right, throwing into the corner of the end zone. Incomplete pass, just barely overthrown. That was to Nate Baker.
Yeah, I think Jarvis was just a little bit late there. So he was a little bit late, so he tried to put extra on it. And just a really flat throw.
Yeah.
In the red zone, you can't throw that as flat. You got to put a little touch on the ball so your receiver can run into it. So that'll bring up another big 3rd down for the Blue Streaks.
In the Spirit of Stark red zone alert here. It's 3rd down and 5. They're at the 14-yard line. They can get a 1st down. We got Landon Gardner right. Also Dylan Snyder right. Quick jet sweep. Pulled it back. RPO. Running left. That's Jarvis. And he got a couple yards out of that one. Short of the first down. And we got a penalty flag. First flag of the game. And we'll see what that's going to be.
Yeah, I think
it was late.
Yeah, we might get a little personal foul here. Someone giving them the business after the play, but we'll see. Jarvis pulled that down. I mean, that's going to be bring up another fourth down.
Still waiting.
If there is no,
we'll going to talk to the Hoover coach.
And they're walking. Vikings are walking backwards, so that penalty is going to give Lake a first and goal opportunity. Huge penalty.
No signal on what that was. Could have been looked like half the distance, Drew.
Yeah.
So it's going to be first and goal now at the 6-yard line for Lake. 10:02 to play in the second quarter. Lake is down 6-0.
And now Will Butler will come in the game at quarterback.
And folks, if you haven't listened or seen Lake play, this is common. They have that 2-quarterback system. They switch them out based on the circumstance. We've got pairs right this time, single left, Solberger in the backfield. Shotgun formation, man in motion from left to right. That's Nate Baker in motion, quick handoff, and he runs right up the middle for a few yards. That was Will Butler. He's just a quarterback keeper, just a straight run up the middle, and he got a few out of that one.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're just running a little quarterback power there. They're going to use the jet sweep to try to widen the end, widen that C gap or B gap so he can just put his head down there. Lake did a great job filling those gaps and got him running side to side. So that's going to bring up second and goal from the Hoover 4-yard line.
We got trips left on the left side this time. Solberger in the backfield. Here's a quick snap. Pulled it back again. Butler up the middle, and he's in for a touchdown. Will Butler up the middle.
Yeah, he's a big body to bring down. You know, he is 6'3", 220 pounds, and he charged right through the arms of a Hoover defender into the end zone to tie this game up.
It is 6-6 at the moment while we wait for the PAT to come. Will Butler does hold. Here is the extra point attempt by Kelton Dutton. The kick is up, and it is down the middle. Good. So it is, with 8:55 to play in the second quarter, it is now Lake 7, Hoover 6. Kishman's Fresh Market. Go visit them. They are both at Minerva and Malvern. They have 2 locations. Simon Says Promotion. McNeil and Sons Tree Service. They do our keys of the game. They're located in Portage Lakes. Give them a call at 330-606-1126.
We've got another score update by the Quarry. It is the West Branch Warriors 7, Alliance Aviators nothing in the first quarter.
Wow.
So great drive by Cale Jarvis and the Blue Streaks, and finished off by Will Butler there in the red zone. So it is Lake 7, Hoover 6, with just about 9 minutes left to go till halftime.
And Brittany Sullivan this time is on the kick now for Lake. We've got a trio of guys back here for Hoover on the return. 8:55 to play in the second quarter. Leather on leather, the kick's away, and it is going to be fielded at the 15-yard line. He's running right up the middle. He kicks it right, looking right, got a little bit of room, made a couple guys miss, got all the way down to the 30-yard line. Hoover's going to take over on their own 30. It's going to be 1st and 10.
Yeah, they kicked it to Mason Ashby there, and that's a dangerous move. So we'll see if someone has a conversation with the Lake kicker there, just because they do not want to do that again. So Hoover, first drive of the game, not much success. They ran the ball a little bit, got 1 first down, then weren't able to convert. Then Lake coughed the ball up to them, and they, on the short field, they were able to punch it in. So Carson Derlin, the junior, comes in with 2 backs in the backfield.
Pairs left, single right. Running back in motion, quick fake handoff. He pulls it back, throws it to the outs, overthrown, incomplete pass.
Yeah, they had Mason Ashby in the backfield there, ran him across the quarterback's behind, tried to throw him the ball, the swing pass. after Derlin looked deep, and he just had too much on it. It was high. It was a long pass to complete.
We do have another scoring update for you here at the end of one. Fairless 12, Triway 0.
Yeah, Triway is missing Zach Miller. They're Mr. Everything there, football, basketball at quarterback. So that's going to be a tough night for them.
Our second and 10 play here. We got trips left, single right, drops back, looking left. We got a dead ball. We got a penalty here.
I think it could be a delay. Nope.
False start on Hoover, so that's going to bring them back.
Yeah, that's going to be on the center. They call it a snap infraction there, so he must be moving the ball too much.
So second and 15 when Hoover takes over here.
Yeah, not the direction they want to be going here.
Definitely not. They're on their own 25-yard line. We got trips left again, single right. So our second down play, shotgun formation, drops back, looking left, steps up. He's getting swarmed, and he is sacked. There's several guys in there for Lake on that sack. Dane Jarvis was the first one there.
Yeah, the outside linebacker, Dane Jarvis, got in around Derlin's ankles, the big guy, and brought him down. So third and long for the Vikings coming up here. Just about 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
8:15 and counting. Hoover down 7-6. Same formation, single right, trips left. Luke Roach in the backfield off Derlin's right hip. Quick handoff up the middle. He's running, and he got a few yards out of that one, tackled right away.
So Hoover just trying to get a couple yards back for the punt team, and they'll come on.
That was Riley Flumano on the tackle there. 7:46 to play. It's fourth down. Hoover's kicking. This is not what how they want to finish this half. They've got they're deep in their own end zone side of the field here, kicking off to two dangerous guys in Sedmock
kind of a high snap there. Nice.
The punt's away. It's landed at the 36-yard line. It's taken a good Hoover roll all the way down. It's going to stop at the 26-yard line. So,
yeah,
great punt.
Yeah, good punt. But, if you're Lake, you've got two guys back there for a reason. Someone's got to field that punt.
Yeah.
You would have had the ball at the 32-yard line to take over, and now you're going to take over on your own 25. So, cost yourself some field position there.
And Coach definitely pulled Sedmock aside there, and it was explaining just that, it looked like. Going to be first and 10 on Lake with 7:17 to play in the first half. Lake is up 7-6. Taking their time getting the ball in here for next possession. A little bit of a chilly night here. Full house, both sides.
And Cale Jarvis comes back in at quarterback.
So we got pairs left, single right. Jarvis in the backfield. Here's a snap, quick fake handoff, and he threw immediately. Nate Baker completed all the way down to the 35-yard line, pushed back. I think forward progress is going to give him a first down. That was a quick over the middle pass to Nate Baker. It's going to be first and 10. And Jarvis stays in as quarterback. Pairs left, single right, fullback in, and Solberger in the backfield. Man in motion left to right, Nate Baker. He jet sweep to Nate Baker, and he's cutting it back up, and he got hit hard and spun out of it. Got a yard, maybe two out of that one.
Yeah, so they've run that jet sweep 3 times now tonight.
Hasn't worked yet.
They've got about 6 yards total maybe on it. But one thing I notice here is, Hoover's playing with 7 in the box, 2 high safeties. Those safeties have not left the hash, and they are creeping ever closer to the line of scrimmage. So a post route is going to be open here eventually for these Lake Blue Streaks.
We saw them do that a couple times on fourth down for touchdowns, so they definitely have that.
We usually don't see Jarvis throw the ball between the hashes, though.
Pairs left, single right, Solberger up the middle, made a guy miss, cut it out, cut it back outside, all the way down to the 46-yard line of Hoover. First down.
And we got a late hit
coming in. Looks like a personal foul, looks like a 15-yard late hit on Lake.
Yeah, so Solberger was kind of tippy-toeing the sideline, went down, and when he was already down out of bounds, 2 Hoover Vikings kind of threw their helmet and shoulder into him. So it will
And
be
that's what it
15
is.
yards.
So it's going to be first and 10 with 6 minutes left to play in the first half. They're going to walk this off here in a moment. I'm going to thank Spirit of Stark, also Leathernecks Nation. They sponsor our injury reports. And by the end of the evening, we're going to nominate a finallyhereohio.com player of the game. Substitution here for Hoover. 5:59 to play, a second. Should be first and 10. They're now at the 32-yard line. Pairs left, single right, single back. Here's a quick snap, quick handoff to Solberger. He's running again, and he's bouncing it back outside, running right, and he got 4 or 5, and it's another, looks like late hit, no call.
And now Solberger's a little chippy. I don't see how the penalty doesn't come out there. You know,
Very late.
Solberger is a passionate young man with the way he plays. He's very physical. I can see how he could get under some of these team skins, but there's no reason to hit him late out of bounds. He responded there, was a little chippy, but no call from the officials. So that'll bring up 2nd and 1. Now Will Butler will come in.
So maybe they see something there. Seems like when they get close to the red zone, Will Butler comes in. Pairs left, single right, single back. Quick hand up the middle. Butler kept it, and he's running. He's got room to run. Spin move all the way down to the 12-yard, 13-yard line. First down and goal. Actually going to be 1st and 10 on the 12-yard line for Lake.
Yeah, you know, we haven't seen Lake kind of sub them out mid-drive before. It's kind of been like, Jarvis, you're going to be in this guy. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get into a throwing rhythm. But right now it looks like they're just worried about throwing hitches and running the ball. So Butler will stay in the game at quarterback.
Pairs left, single right. Solberger off the right hip of Butler. Man in motion, jet sweep, pulled it back. Butler kept it, juking and jiving, bouncing all the way around. Got hit by the entire team, looked like, and finally tackled. Couldn't tell, Drew. Looks like a couple-yard gain.
Yeah, not much there, you know. That if you don't have success on that jet sweep, it's tough for the defense to respect it and help you on that play right there. As they were going to fake the jet sweep and run underneath.
Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 8. Pairs left, single right. Solberger off the right hip of Butler in the shotgun formation. Here's a quick snap, pulled it back, and he did hand it off to Solberger, and he got maybe 3 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5 or 6.
Yeah, what I'd like to see here, you know, 3rd down, you might be in 4-down territory here. Maybe fake the run, do a little half roll to your left, and try to hit the crosser across the field. You know, that we said those safeties are playing up, so maybe if you run a corner route out of the slot guy, and have a crosser replace that safety.
And here comes Cale Jarvis now in. So we'll look for what you're just talking about, Drew, there. Pairs left, single right. Solberger still in the backfield. He's looking left, snapping a ball, pulled it back. Quick fake handoff, rolling left, looking left, wide open in the corner of the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, but there is a penalty flag down. We'll see what that is. It might be holding on Lake.
So that's the exact play I'm talking about there. You run the corner route with the drag coming across in the safety's face. He's got to decide now, am I going to hang with the corner or cover the crosser? He picked the crosser. They threw the corner out for the touchdown.
And it looks like Lake will be coming back.
Yeah, it looks like a hold call, which is tough because that was a nice throw by Jarvis.
It is a 10-yarder. That's going to bring him back. It's going to be 3rd down and, 15.
My crystal ball has been pretty good to me so far this year.
You know what, man? You need to play the lotto. You've been hitting them pretty good.
So we'll do it again. 3rd and 15 now.
3rd and 15, single left, pairs right. Jarvis is still in the game. Here's a snap, quick fake handoff, drops back, looking over the top, over the middle, caught
that post.
Touchdown on the post route.
Great.
Dylan Snyder on the post.
Unbelievable catch. Kind of a risky throw there. He threw it right at that safety. Safety didn't see it, buzzed by his head. Dylan Snyder goes up and grabs the ball up in the air above his head, and that's a huge play for the Lake Blue Streaks.
13-6, Lake over Hoover with 3:53 to play. We got the PAT coming up. That was a dime, Drew.
Absolutely. Like you said, risky throw, but, they've been playing with those safeties all night. Doing a lot of things across their face. They're stepping up. They're trying to get in the run game. And that post is what's going to be open when those safeties want to do that. So
the PAT is good. It is now 14-6 Lake with 3:53 to play in the first half.
Yeah, we got another scoreboard update for you. It is now the McKinley Bulldogs 13, Jackson nothing. Another Nino Hill touchdown.
Forced to be reckoned with. Fairless is now 19-0 in the second quarter over Triway. C.H. Vallis and Associates, they're located at 1302 South Main Street in North Canton. They specialize in home, auto, life insurance, and financial service needs. Give them a call at 330-494-2776. Kishman's Fresh Market, located both in Minerva and Malvern. They got 2 locations. Check them out. And Simon Says Promotions. Ton of companies underneath them. Copeland Paints, Brooklyn Rio Photography, Studio Vibes, Brits Bows, Game Day Boutique, and the Tiger Store. Whistle here, we are back in action. About to have another kickoff with 3:53 to play. Lake up 14-6.
That's actually Fairless and Manchester playing. That's our mistake there.
And the kickoff is received at the 20 running, and he made a bunch of guys miss all the way down to the 34-yard line.
So they continue to kick it to Mason Ashby, and he's making some moves there for Hoover. So, that score is actually Fairless over Manchester.
My bad.
No, that's I think I told you too. And then it's actually Northwest and Triway tied 0-0 in the second quarter. But it's 14-6 here, and Coach Baum's Carson Drulin and the Hoover Vikings are going to try to answer this Lake score with 3:49 left to go till halftime.
Plenty of time, 3 timeouts left. So they definitely got time to get up there and score before half, and then they'll get the ball back. Here's a quick snap up the middle. He pulled it back. He's keeping it, and he's running off tackle, and he's bouncing it a little bit outside, and he got about 3 yards on that one. Going to bring up 2nd and 7.
Derlin, not really a speedster, but he's an effective runner. He'll put his head down. He's a big guy, tough to bring down. And he usually makes good decisions when he's scrambling.
3:28 and counting in the first half. Got trips right, shotgun formation. Roach off the right hip. Quick hand off the Roach up the middle. He pulled it back, and he threw a bullet up the middle, completed, and he's run. Ashby received it at the 44-yard line, ran all the way to the 49, 1st and 10, out of bounds for Hoover.
Yeah, and like we said at the beginning of the game, you want success on offense, you got to find a way to get number 3 the ball.
They did just that. Clock has stopped at 3:14. Trips left, nobody right. Got the H-back in there quick. Just a QB
Derlin
keeper
again.
up the middle. Derlin running up the middle. There's a flag down. And he got 3 yards on that one. We'll see what the penalty is with 3:07 to play.
Yeah, Dane Jarvis blitz from his linebacker position right into it. Derlin was able to avoid, get back maybe a yard or 2, but we've got a penalty here in the area of holding.
No signal, but they are definitely walking Hoover
and
back.
It's going to be a hold.
So that's going to be 1st and 20.
If they're able to get a stop here, Blue Streaks might want to think about a timeout after 2nd down.
So 1st and 20 Hoover, 3:07 to play. Clock stop. Pairs left, single right, quick handoff up the middle. He's got room to run, and he got about 5 yards on that one.
And that's a good clock management decision there by Coach Baum. Getting the clock moving. It's unlikely you're going to convert the 1st down here, but what you don't want to do is try to force a pass, give Lake the ball back with a lot of time. So now the clock's running under 3 minutes. I expect a stop here after 2nd down will probably draw a timeout by the Lake Blue Streaks.
You've been calling it all night, Drew, so I would suspect that's correct. Trips left, single right, quick fake handoff, and Derlin's rolling left, looking left, got nobody, and he almost fell down, and he got
down.
drilled. He fell down in his own backfield. It's going to bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and forever, 3rd and 18. And Lake does call that timeout, Drew. Good coaching call there.
Yeah, so, you're going to have 3rd and long here. I expect maybe something safe, real safe, to try to maybe Mason Ashby, maybe he can make a play, or just run the ball out of Hoover, because we've got 2 timeouts left for Lake. If Lake does it right, they can probably get the ball back here just under 2 minutes with the 2 timeouts remaining.
Lake likes to blitz a lot. I look for these linebackers to come flying in there on this play.
Mm-hmm.
Got to figure it's,
Yeah, a little stunt run blitz wouldn't hurt at all. But, you got to find – the biggest thing is, before you worry about the clock, you got to find Mason Ashby and make sure it's a sure tackle if it's something to him. Maybe a quick bubble or something that you can get him on the outside. So we'll see what Coach Baum has planned here. Maybe he just plays it safe and runs it and forces Lake to take the timeout, but we'll see. And it's going to be Ashby in the backfield here. So
they got him packed in. Single back. Derlin in the backfield. Quick snap. Handoff. Running off tackle. Oh, he kept it, and what a great play. Dylan, I'm confused, Drew.
Yeah, it's Derlin,
it was a heck of a fake handoff. Derlin kept it. Then he took off, and he got a ton of running room there all the way down. It's going to be 4th down and 3.
I still would have taken a timeout to put the pressure on Hoover here.
2 minutes and counting. Hoover down 14-6. They're going for this on 4th down. We got pairs left. Nobody right. Single back. Here's a quick snap. Handoff up the middle, and they got a 1st down. 1st and 10, Hoover on the 40-yard line.
All right, now if you're Hoover, you got to go no huddle. You got to bring up the tempo. I mean, you do have 3 timeouts, but at least you got to pick up your pace getting to the line of scrimmage.
Timeout, Hoover. They're going to take over. It's going to be 1st and 10 at Lake's 41-yard line with 1:43 to play and a half, and they're down 14-6.
We've got a score update brought to you by the Quarry. It is the Jackson Polar Bears on the scoreboard now. So it's McKinley 13, Jackson 7. Jason Davide, no surprise, in the end zone for the Polar Bears.
I tell you what, we got a ton of good quarterbacks in Stark County, ton of good running backs. Yep. That East-West game next year is going to be exciting.
Yeah. Gives us a second to talk about St. Joe's Senior Living over in Louisville. They have independent living over there. They have assisted living. They have nursing home facilities. So if you're in that situation, give St. Joe's Senior Living a call.
C.H. Vallis and Associates. They specialize in home, auto, and life insurance and all financial needs. Give them a call at 330-494-2776. We're back in action here. 1st and 10, pairs right, single left, drops back. He's got all kinds of pressure. He steps up, and he's looking, he's throwing. He's got a man open, and he overthrew him at the 14-yard line. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, in this situation, and we've got a player down. That's Roach. We talked about it before the game that he's nursing an ankle injury, and he is down on the turf. Tried to walk it up, get off. So
Leathernecks Nation injury timeout here.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see if you're the Hoover Vikings. Let's talk situation here a little bit. 2nd 10. We got a minute 37, 2 timeouts. If I'm Lake, I am manning up Mason Ashby and playing a safety over top. Hoover, obviously, number 10, Zach Brocker's a pretty speedy guy as well, but I am not letting Mason Ashby touch the football because he can go. He can go right away.
So he is finally up. He's walking off the field. Definitely tender, so it's good to see at least he's up and walking. The Leathernecks Nation injury update. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Hoover is at Lake's 41-yard line, 1:37 to play. Hoover does have 2 timeouts left. They got trips left, single right, single back, shotgun, drops back. Derlin looks, and he steps up. He's got a man over the top and nearly picked off by Nate Baker. It looked like a miscommunication, like he was supposed to run a post route, and he looked like he was streaking.
I think Derlin wanted him to turn it up the seam there, and he kind of went across the safety's face instead of running by him. But, Lake's doing a good job putting some pressure off the edge there. Derlin had to step up in the pocket and just a little too much on it. So that brings up 3rd and 10 with a minute 31 left.
It's 14-6 Lake. Hoover's ball at the 41 of Lake. Trips right this time, single left. Derlin in shotgun. Drops back, got a man. He's throwing over the top. He's got a man open. Touchdown, Hoover! Number 10, what a catch. Zach Brocker, touchdown.
Yeah. And, Nate Baker got caught with his eyes in the backfield, was not able to recover and squeeze the fade there, and a beautiful throw by Carson Derlin for the Viking touchdown just before half.
Threw a dime. It's 14-12 Lake. Got to figure Hoover's going to go for 2 here.
I think it's early. You can kick it. You don't have to, but it looks like they're going to.
1:23 left, so Lake's going to have some time after this PAT to make something happen. I'm sorry, they are going for 2. It's not a PAT. 14-12.
Stack eye look.
And they fumbled the snap. He fell on it, kept the ball. No good. 14-12. Hoover's going to kick the ball now. With 1:23 left in the first half, they're down 14-12. Great first half here. That was a dime over the top.
Yeah, and that takes us, that was our Ben Wallenberg's sweet throw of the game.
There you go.
Ben Wallenberg's chocolates there.
I like that. You know what's impressive, Drew, is you don't have a script for them. You just know what's good over there.
Yeah, I do. I know everything that's good. The peanut brittle, if you're a fan of peanut brittle, I don't like it sometimes because it gets thick.
It gets in your teeth.
And it's stuff, but his peanut brittle is so thin and it's so good. So if you like peanut brittle, get over there and check out Ben Wallenberg's chocolate in the Fulton Drugs Plaza across from Stadium Park.
So we're about to kick off here. Ball's down, ready to go. 14-12. Lake. Hoover kicking to Lake. Lake's got 1:23 to the end of half. They do have 2 timeouts, so they can have some time to do some damage. We'll see if they can get a decent return here. Leather on leather, kicks away, and it's a low squib. Received at the 22-yard line. He's running, and he got smacked and down at the 30-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Lake at their own 30.
Lake's got time here. You got a bunch of weapons out there. I'd like to see the bigger arm quarterback and Butler maybe come out here, even though Jarvis had a great throw last time. Got a minute 17 left, 2 timeouts. And one thing I always like to do in 2-minute drill is if I'm backed up a little, do something safe first. Maybe run the ball on 1st down or throw a screen, something quick as the defense trying to play back and try to go from there. So we'll see what happens.
We got your favorite formation here. Pairs right stacked, single left, 2 in the backfield. Shotgun, quick handoff off the middle. Solberger trying to make a guy miss, bounced it outside, made a spin move, and got tackled. Got a gain of maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, and when I say run the ball there, I mean out of a spread set, not out of a packed-in set like they had where Hoover's packing the box. So we'll go inside a minute here. Lake doesn't seem to be in any hurry. For some reason, I think, any opportunity to score is a reason to go after it, right?
Maybe they're just going to be conservative, go in here, see what happens, and take a lead into the half and not make a mistake at this point. They're at their own 32-yard line. Pairs right, single left.
I still like the post. Still like the post against this.
And it's a Butler keeper up the middle, no gain. So they are going ultra-conservative. They're just going to let it run out to half, looks like. 27 seconds and counting in the first half. Lake up 14-12.
We've got another Quarry scoreboard update. It is the McKinley Bulldogs 20, Jackson 7 now.
And 13 seconds and counting. Looks like they're going to maybe run one more play. They don't even need to run a play if they're going to let it run out. They got plenty of time on the play clock, and they're not going to run a play. That is the end of the first half, folks. It is Lake Blue Streaks 14, Hoover Vikings 12.
So we will take a break here at halftime. Like we said, like Jeff said, it's it's Lake 12 or Lake 14, Hoover 12. We're going to take about a 5-10 minute break, and we'll be back with your halftime show. All right, we are back here at North Canton Memorial Stadium, and it is the Lake Blue Streaks 14, the Hoover Vikings 12. Before we recap the first half, we're going to bring you some scores from around the area. We've got almost all of them, and these are brought to you by the Quarry Golf Club and Event Center. The Quarry is one of the best golf courses in Ohio. They have a top-notch event center, and the Granite Grill there just has absolutely delicious food. And when it's nice out, they do live music out on the patio out there. So make sure you get down to the Quarry. Great views as well. You can call them at 330-488-3178. And Jeff is going to run down all our local scores for us here.
As you know here, Lake 14, Hoover 12 at halftime. These are all halftime scores. McKinley 20, Jackson 7. Northwest 7 over Triway 0. Fairless, no surprise here, 33-0 over Manchester. Glen Oak 14, Louisville 7 at half. Green 24 over Perry 14. Massillon 28.
Canisius, New York.
Thank you.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem.
it. You saw that. You saw the look in my eye there.
Yeah, a little Catholic school up there.
CVCA 7, Orville 7. Marlington 17, Minerva 0.
Big surprise score here.
Look at this one. Hoban 0, St. V 0 at half.
Yeah, you know, as we know, there's a big scuttlebutt this week that St. Vincent St. Mary is canceling their series with Hoban going forward. Pretty soft, if you ask me. You know, today's day and age, do we teach kids to run away from competition, or do you want to go after it? So that's my opinion on the whole thing. Obviously, I spent 5 years as offense coordinator at Hoban, but sad to see that rivalry go. I hope Hoban beats the second half of this game. But you can continue.
Well, I'm kind of the same way about Fairless being 33-0 over Manchester. I saw them whoop us enough, so no love lost there for me. In a barn burner so far, West Branch 21, Alliance 14.
And that game was 14-14. West Branch scored with 6 seconds to go in the half to take the lead.
That is my 2 versus 3 matchup in my power rankings, so good one there. Central Catholic 35, East Liverpool 0. And finally, Canton South 21, Tuslaw 0.
Yeah, no scores from East Canton or Malvern game. We haven't gotten any of those. So I think those are pretty much the only scores we are missing from the area. So first half here, Hoover got on the board first with a touchdown run from Luke Roach. Lake got the ball back. Answered a drive of their own. Will Butler took it in from about 4 yards out to make it 7-6 Blue Streaks over the Vikings. Then a couple possessions for Hoover that didn't amount to much. Lake's quarterback, Cale Jarvis, threw an absolute dime on the post route to Dylan Schneider for the touchdown, and they went up 14-6. And then right before halftime, after a 3rd and 19, 16-yard run by Carson Derlin, they converted the 4th down. Luke Roach gets hurt at running back, so we don't know if he'll come back in the game, but throws a touchdown pass to 6-foot sophomore, number 10, Zach Brocker. So here we sit. They went for 2, couldn't get it, so it is Lake 14, Hoover 12. And really, this game has been, mistakes by Lake. It has put Hoover in this game. And then, a missed tackle on 3rd and 19 allows the Vikings to extend their drive there at the end of the first half. So what I'd like to see in the second half, obviously, Jarvis threw the ball well, but I think you need to control the clock a little bit. Go down, get a score, run the ball out. I'd like to see Will Butler throw the ball too. I think he throws the ball really well. But we'll see. It's been a back and forth thing. We hadn't seen them really. This is our 3rd game we've done. Yeah. I was able to watch the film last week against McKinley. We haven't seen them sub each other out during drives as much, and we've done that. And you wonder, for both quarterbacks, for Jarvis and for Butler, how does that affect their rhythm? How can they get into a rhythm? Jarvis is a big rhythm passer. He throws the hitches out there. He gets the rollouts. He kind of needs momentum to get going. And then Will Butler, they don't throw him as much. They're running the ball for him to come out and throw cold.
Yeah.
It's starting to get cold out here. It's playing defense. How many throws is he really
Right.
getting before a drive?
Right.
So I think it's tough to, when you're doing that to the quarterbacks, and it might be best to say, hey, here, you do a quarter, and then we let the game dictate it from there. But it'll be interesting to see how they use those two in the second half. But Hoover's right in this thing.
Yeah.
And like we said, we'll see if Luke Roach comes back out, the stud running back for Hoover in the second half. But I expect, Lake to dial up the pressure on Derlin. If Roach is out of the game, they got to do what they did against Akron East and bring those, not just those guys off the edge, but up the middle as well. Get him out of rhythm so he can't throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, and it seems like you said, it's the first time they've been subbing mid-series like that, but it seems like Jarvis is taking care of the middle 80, and then the first 20 last in the red zone, then they bring Butler in to run the rock. It makes sense what they're doing. It's the first time we've seen it. The surprising thing for me is that they don't throw Will Butler much. The kid can throw the rock.
He can throw the ball. I mean, he showed that the first week against the Lions.
He
rolling out on a fourth down.
Yeah.
Threw a nice throw there. But, I don't think you can go wrong. Like, I don't think either players is a bad decision to play them. But what I said, I think it can affect their rhythm. How does Cale Jarvis get into a rhythm if he's got to say, okay, am I coming out now? And how does Will Butler, stay fresh and say, all right, I'm playing defense. It's 48 degrees outside now, 45 degrees, and now I'm coming in and they asked me to throw a pass maybe when I haven't thrown the ball in maybe 20, 30 minutes. So it's interesting. One thing that fixes everything is just play good defense and run the ball with Solberger.
Right.
You keep the ball off the turf, and this is a 14-6 game. You make a tackle on a 3rd and 19, and it's a 14-0 game. So we'll see what happens this second half. We're about inside, about 3 minutes to go. The clock's running down. They'll add 2 minutes on there. But this gives us an opportunity to thank all of our sponsors.
C.H. Vallis and Associates, they're at 1302 South Main Street in North Canton. They specialize in home, auto, life insurance, and all financial needs. Give them a call at 330-494-2776. McNeil & Sons Tree Service. No job is too big or too small. Give them a call at 330-606-1126. They're located in Portage Lakes. We've talked about them quite a bit. The Quarry Golf Club. Great course. I've played it many times. Great food. Fun to hang out on that patio. Give them a call if you want to book anything. I've seen a lot of weddings and things out there. 330-488-3178. Then our injury report is sponsored by Leathernecks Nation. Luckily, we've had just the one injury here so far, but it is, if you haven't heard of them, it's veterans helping out veterans. That's their main mission. The Meduse chapter supports local veteran charities in and around Stark County, like the 22 organization fighting veteran suicides, along with the Sam Center in Massillon. They cannot do it alone, so stop on out October 15th from 3 to 9 p.m. Support their annual Halloween party. It's located at the VFW on Mahoning Road in Canton. Check out all the details, including food, drinks, raffle items, and live music on their website, www.meduselnmc.com, or on their Facebook page, Leathernecks Nation MC Meduse Chapter. Donations are accepted anytime and at the door. A large portion of the proceeds go to helping these local charities. Raffle tickets are only $10. They look forward to your support. Semper Fi.
Yeah, and then St. Joe's Senior Living over there in Louisville, right behind St. Thomas Aquinas High School. They do have assisted senior living, for your loved ones, but they also have the Alsatian, which is a newer facility which has a variety of different apartment options. That is, independent care with they can have some home health aides, those types of things. So they've got plenty of options for you for your loved ones as they get older. And then we've talked about a couple times already, Ben Wallenberg's Gourmet Chocolates and Freshly Roasted Nuts, 2520 Harrison Avenue Northwest, right in the Fulton Drugs Plaza, right across from Stadium Park. Holiday orders. If you have a business and you say, well, I don't know what to get, my employees for season, call Ben. He'll give you special pricing. You know, what woman or which man doesn't like chocolate? You can never go wrong.
Hopefully TJ is going to listen to this tomorrow and hook us up.
Yeah. And then Simon Says Promotions.
There are a ton of companies underneath that umbrella. It's Copeland Paints, Brooklyn Rio Photography, Studio Vibes, Brits Bows, Game Day Boutique, and the Tiger Store. They are located at the old checkered flag building in Massillon, 256 Erie Street South and 59 Lincoln Way East in Massillon. Spirit of Stark, they sponsor our Red Zone every night. They're in their new home on 409 Erie Street North in Massillon. They can fulfill any small or large orders with their state-of-the-art equipment. They can do custom embroidery. Give them a call, 330-806-6745. We're about 45 seconds here to the kickoff of the second half. Also, we're going to thank finally HearOhio.com. By the end of the night, we're going to announce the player of the game. Right now, that title is up for grabs.
For sure.
Chris McCready's and his team are located at 1201 30th Street Northwest in Canton. Contact them at 330-492-1212.
Yep, so if you're just coming back with us after the halftime there, it is the Lake Blue Streaks 14 and the Hoover Vikings 12. You are listening to the Stark Media Team YouTube stream game of the week. Make sure you check us out on Facebook. Subscribe to this YouTube page. Like the broadcast. We'd appreciate that. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram as well. We're putting out a bunch of great graphics every week. You don't have to search on the internet for stats and those types of things. We're going to give you the county leaders every week on our great graphics. We're going to give you our power rankings. Sam Berkwin, Jim Ballard, myself, Jeff Tyler here. You know, JP Simon's got his. TJ Downing's got his. Mark Milano. So we're going to put out our power rankings each week. And then make sure you check us out, Jim Ballard and myself, every Wednesday night on YouTube. Video uploads about 10 o'clock. It's High School Football Rewind. We give you our analysis of the week before. It's no BS, no fluff. We actually do real analysis of what happened. A couple weeks ago, we did film of the Jackson-Perry game and how Jackson was able to pick that up. We've had interviews with Coach Antonio Hall. This week, we're going to have an exclusive interview with Coach Nate Moore of the Massillon Tigers coming up, and some film probably of some of these games.
Cool.
So we're just about to start the second half here.
Drew, I've got something. So I have 21 nieces and nephews.
Jeez.
Okay? This morning I've already thought I was a great uncle, but this morning I became a great uncle. My niece Megan gave birth to a 4-pound, 10-ounce kid.
Congrats, Megan.
And she gave the name Tyler for the first name. So it is Tyler Joshua Montgomery. So congrats to them. Congrats to my parents for being great-grandparents the first time. And now my big brother used to make fun of me for being the first one to buy a minivan. Well, he's the first one to be a grandpa. So
how about that? Well, you're a great play-by-play guy, too, so not just a great uncle.
Oh, you the man, Drew. Not bad for a rookie.
Yeah, not bad at all.
So we're about ready to go here. 12 minutes on the clock. We're about to start the second half. It's 14-12 Lake over Hoover. We've got leather on leather. Here's the kick, and it's a low line drive. Received at the 20-yard line, running right up the middle. Got room to run, got a big gap. Making a guy miss. It's Nate Baker all the way to the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 Lake at their own 43.
Yeah, it's going to put the Blue Streaks in great field position as Will Butler comes back in to lead the Blue Streaks on this first drive of the second half.
Don't know what to expect here the second half. Like you said, we'll see who controls the ball, controls field position, limits mistakes. We got trips right away here. Single Solberger in the backfield, shotgun as always. Butler with a hard snap, quick handoff. He pulls it back. He did hand it off to Solberger. He got 4. Going to bring 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, Solberger had some nice runs in the first half, so maybe, get him the ball a little bit. Like we said, ground out some clock, wear this Hoover defense down, and let those safeties continue to creep so we can hit something over the top here.
Trips right again. Solberger in the backfield, shotgun formation. We're looking to the sideline to get the play. It looks like they're changing it a couple times. Here's the snap. looking right, nothing, and he fumbled the ball and recovered by Lake. It looked like he were going to throw a quick out, nothing there. They jumped the route, so he ate it, tried to run a little bit to the right, find some space, and drop the rock.
Yeah, great job by the Hoover defense there. So what Lake's doing is they've got trips to the boundary here with a tight end to the field, okay? They tried to run the bubble. Hoover did a great job of jumping it, but to that short side, Hoover came off the edge and was able to hit Butler as he pumped. Smartly did not throw that bubble.
Yeah. Trips left this time, single right. Left to right on your dial here. Looks like showing blitz. Dropping back, got blitz, got drilled in the backfield. And he is sacked in the backfield. A loss of 4 or 5. 10:28 and counting in the third quarter.
Yeah, so what Hoover did there is they brought 2 off the edge. They put the defensive end right in the middle of the tackle's face, brought the outside linebacker outside of him. There was no one there to pick him up, and he hit Butler right away. So the Lake Blue Streaks are going to have to punt. They lose 9 yards on their first drive of the second half.
Kelton Dutton back to punt. He's got his heels on the 19-yard or 21-yard line. The punt is up, nearly blocked. Good punt, all the way down, landed. Oh, he hit, and okay, so it landed short, went right into the Hoover guy, bounced off of him, and he got it back, recovered at the 30-yard line. Avoided a disaster there, Drew.
Yeah, so Mason Ashby's there waving everyone to get off, get away, but he didn't get out of the way himself. Ball bounced, hit him right in the midsection. A couple Lake players there, but Ashby was able to recover that and save disaster for the Vikings.
So here come Hoover, 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. 9:48 in the third quarter left, down 14-12. Pairs right, single left, single back. Here's a snap, pulled it back. He's running, he's up the middle, and he's got some room to run. He got about 6 yards there.
So that's Carson Derlin. Fake the handoff to Roach there. Roach is in the backfield. Luke Roach, we talked about it. He came out early. Looks like he's got double spatted ankles right now, and he's still got a little bit of a limp to him. So we'll see how that affects him in the second half.
Pairs right, single left. Under center this time, and now he drops back into the shotgun. Man in motion, left to right. Here's a snap. Quick handoff up the middle. No, he pulled it back, and he quick throw, quick out, completed. First down, Hoover at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, it's just that little run-pass option they like to do there.
Mason Ashby, like you said, get your guy the ball.
Yeah, so what they do is they write off the handout there for the flat defender, the edge defender to squeeze down, vacate that area, and they throw the speed out. So great footwork, great throw there by Carson Derlin, and it's first down for the Vikings.
Carson Derlin has some NFL fakes. He's faked me a couple times.
He does a great job. He does a great job.
Trips left, and we've got a stop ball here, flag down, offsides, Lake.
The second half not going the way the Blue Streaks wanted to. You know, the tough offensive possession, and now an offsides penalty on first down.
So it's going to bring up first and 5. Pairs left, single right. Luke Roach still in the backfield off the right hip of Derlin. Derlin's 6'2", big kid. Quick pull back, throw right, completed again to Ashby. I'm sorry, it was not Ashby. Completed pass on the right side here. That is going to bring up second down and 1.
Yeah, Zach Brocker,
first down,
who has the touchdown catch earlier. You know, Lake's really given these guys some respect here. They're playing off, and Hoover's going to keep taking the flats here if they're going to give it to them.
8:27 and counting here in the third quarter. 1st and 10, Hoover. Quick fake handoff, pulled it back, and he's going to tuck it and run, and he got tackled pretty hard for a 2-yard gain. Good sportsmanship there by Lake, helping the guy up. 8:12 to count.
You've got Nate Baker giving a 10-yard cushion out here at corner. If I'm Lake, I tighten that up there. You know, you're going to give away these hitches and these speed outs all day if your corner's playing 10 yards off.
Second down and 8. Pairs right, single left.
Now Baker tightens up a little bit.
He heard you up here in the booth. Quick Quick handoff up the middle, and he got 2 yards.
Yeah, that was Evan Brady, the stud middle linebacker for the Blue Streaks, making the tackle. He does such a great job, not just in the run game, but he's able to get after the passer as well. One of the Stark County leaders in tackles for loss and sacks.
He's going to bring it out 3rd and 6 here. Hoover has the ball at Lake's 41-yard line. 7:22 to play in the 3rd quarter. Pairs right, single left. Roach still in the game off the right hip of Durland. Shotgun, here's a snap. He drops back. He threw it.
And there's a fumble.
And it is a fumble. Might have been an incomplete pass. He went back. They hit his hand on the way back, and it is a fumble recovered by Lake.
Joey Garrow on the recovery. They came off the edge on Durland. He held onto the ball a little bit long. He's trying to hit that speed out again, and the Lake pass rush was able to get there. So Lake will take over on their own 46-yard line after the turnover, and it is Cale Jarvis coming out on the field at quarterback.
Cale Jarvis in with 7:06 to play. Lake Blue Streaks up 14-12 over Hoover. Starting at their own 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Pairs right, single left. Quick handoff up the middle to Solberger. He got swarmed, hit at the line, tried to get extra yardage, and he didn't get any. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and that was the senior, big number 78, Brad Cormanic, getting in, disrupting the backfield there and scooping up Solberger and dropping him on his bottom.
The height of these offensive and defensive line of Hoover is no joke.
Oh, yeah, they're big boys. Obviously they had the stud defensive ends last year in Shimmick and Logan, a tough to replace.
Got pairs left, single right, H-back in, shotgun, quick pump fake, went to throw it, pulled it back, throw it again. I think that's an incomplete pass.
And that happens here. As the weather starts to change, these balls get a little bit wet. The coolness in the air, the quarterback's hands, are getting cold. They don't have much feeling. That ball can become slippery.
He did a good job of doing a pump fake, pulled it back, went to do another pump fake, I think, and it just slipped right out of his hand. 6:23 to play. Clock has stopped. 14-12. Lake is leading. It's 3rd and 9 on their own 45-yard line. Cale Jarvis in the backfield, quarterback. Solberger off his left hip. Deuces left, single right, drops back, looking over the top. Wobbly throw, 50-50 ball, out of bounds, incomplete pass. That was intended for Dylan Snyder, incomplete.
Yeah, tough play call there. You got the single receiver side. You're not running 3 vertical on the opposite side, so the safety just comes right over top the fade with the corner underneath. On top of that, the receiver's running his route a yard from the sideline.
Right.
That is a very small window to complete that pass for Jarvis, so not a high percentage throw. Well, and Lake's going to have to punt.
And Drew, you're 12, 15 yards deep of the 1st down marker. I think you had all kinds of room there to just do a shorter route. Mm-hmm. Punt is up, and it's away. And it's received by Ashby at the 20. It got hit, and he fumbled,
it up.
And it is Lake ball. Lake recovered at the 25-yard line. Ashby got drilled and coughed it up.
Yep, and that was number 34 for the Lake Blue Streaks.
Anthony Greeno.
Got in there, the senior.
5'8", 170-pound senior.
Punched the ball out. So that's 2 plays in a row that Ashby's made these punts scary. And now that sets up Lake just outside of the Spirit of Stark red zone.
23-yard line, 6:05 to play 3rd quarter. Lake takes over. 1st and 10 up 14-12.
Will Butler back in.
Pairs stacked left. Will Butler in. Dylan Snyder by himself on the right-hand side. Quick fake handoff and Butler kept it running way up the middle. Got plenty of room to run. 1st and goal. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, just that fake handoff to Solberger and, like a Big Mac truck. Will Butler running downhill, running over linebackers, dragging defensive backs for a 10-yard gain on 1st down.
5:46 to play, clock running. 14-12 in the Spirit of Stark red zone alert here. They can get a 1st down. It looks like they're at the 11-yard line. Pairs left, single right. Solberger up the middle, and he's running into a swarm of Vikings. No gain.
I'll tell you what, right now, these safeties are so focused on Will Butler running the ball, the slant route to the single receiver is going to be wide open. So as soon as that snap comes, those safeties are rocking in the box, maybe a nice little 3-step, 4-step slant right down the seam of the field.
Will Butler staying in at quarterback. Dylan Snyder out of the game. One of your playmakers comes out. I don't know if he needs a drink of water or what. We got pairs left this time, single right.
Got the big tall receiver in there now.
Solberger off the right hip of Butler. Man in motion, quick fake jet sweep.
Butler
Butler kept it,
downhill.
and he's running. He only got a couple that time. He got tackled by a boatload of Hoover Vikings there. See what I did there?
Yeah. So you know what? It looks like Lake can still actually get a first down at the 1-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 6. Well, from the 7.
4:30 and counting in the third quarter. Lake taking their time to get this play in. 16 seconds on the play clock. Butler still in the game. Pairs left. Nate Baker on the left-hand side.
The slant
Solberger off
looks
the left
good again
field.
down here, the single receiver.
Quick keeper to Butler again up the middle, and he's short of the first down, I believe. About the 2-3 yard line is going to be, it's going to bring up 4th down and maybe a half yard.
Yeah, I think this is 4-down territory here. 5-point lead really doesn't help you. So we'll see what happens. Obviously Lake can still get a first down at the 1-yard line. The ball is on the 3. So they're going to need 2 yards to get the first down here.
What do you like here, Drew? Just go Butler up the middle and take your medicine?
2 yards. 2 yards is a long way to go. I think there's a variety of things that you can do. Maybe, fake, try to get tight ends coming across. But
Coach DeGeorge takes a timeout.
One thing I would do is spread the field out. Butler's big, and it's going to be tough. He's got receivers out there. Make Hoover play 7 in the box on the goal line. Spread the field out. Give Butler some options. If you want to do a check with me from the sideline, maybe call 2 plays. If you're there, you go, hey, they come out, you got 8 in the box, we're throwing this route. They got 7 in the box, we're running down their throat. So I'd like to see him spread them out and give them some options. But, who knows? Maybe he's got confidence in his offensive line and Butler, and they're just going to ram it right down behind Solberger and the fullback.
14-12, Lake over Hoover. It is 3:25 to play in the third quarter. It is 4th down and 2 at the 3-yard line of Hoover. Lake is using all their time here before they come out on the field.
They're really talking about this, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
And they're going to stay with Will Butler at quarterback.
So they're going to go trips to the left, 2 backs in the backfield. So one of these receivers to the left is ineligible. So I'm expecting quarterback run here.
And it is Butler up the middle, and it's a touchdown. Will Butler. Lake touchdown, putting 6 more on the board. It's 20-12 Lake.
And that's Coach DeGeorge, like we said, just having faith in his offensive line, running right behind Evan Brady, one of your better players, Solberger, one of your more physical players, and getting in the end zone. So big extra point here for Lake. If they can get this, they go up 2 scores.
3:21 to play in the third quarter. We got a PAT attempt here. Here's the snap. Leather on leather, and it's down the middle again. Good.
And that's a big extra point there for Lake.
So that puts them up 9, 21-12 with 3:21 to play in the third quarter. Lake over Hoover at the moment. But thanks C.H. Valos and Associates. They've been with us from the beginning. They're our title sponsor. You can see them at 1302 South Main Street in North Canton. They specialize in home, auto, and life insurance and any and all financial service needs. Give them a call at 330-494-2776.
Yeah, and we've got a Quarry scoreboard update. It is the Northwest Indians 14, Triway nothing.
West Branch still 21-14. Yeah. Kishman's Fresh Market, located in both Minerva and Malvern. Check them out. Shop local. They're locally owned. Drew, you actually you played with their son, right, in college?
Yeah, Matt Kishman, good offensive lineman down there for Minerva.
We're about to kick off here. Lake, leather on leather. Slow squib, bouncing kick up the middle. Hands team fumbled it again, but they got it back at their own 33-yard line.
Yeah, so they chose not to kick it to Ashby there. So just to reset what happened for us, 3 and out by Lake, their first possession in the second half. They go to punt it. Ashby, can't corral it, or he catches it, takes a couple steps, fumbles. Lake takes back over, goes down, and scores. So it's 21-12. Lake Blue Streaks over the Hoover Vikings with 3:20 left to play in this third quarter.
Here comes Hoover's offense. Pairs left, single right, shotgun formation. Man in motion. We do have Luke Roach still in the ball game. Quick handoff to Roach up the middle. He's running. He got 4 or 5.
He definitely, he's just all downhill right now. He had a little wiggle to him in the first half, trying some jump cuts and those types of things, but I think the ankle is really hampering his game right now.
3:05 and counting in the third quarter, 21-12 Lake over Hoover. Hoover trying to put a drive together here. It's 2nd down and 7, actually.
And I'm waiting. Will Butler's been stalking kind of there in the flats. I'm waiting for one of these Lake players to jump this RPO speed out when Derlin rides out too long. We'll see when it happens.
Pairs left, man in motion, left to right on your dial. Quick snap, handoff up the middle. He pulled it back. He threw it over top. He threw a dime, caught. First down at the Lake 46-yard line. He threw a quick dime there. Great pass, great catch. Yeah, that was number 10, Zach Brocker.
Yeah, he just threw the fade right in the hole between the kind of hole shot there between the corner and the safety. Snuck it in at about 15 yards downfield. Brocker falls a couple yards forward, and it's first down for the Vikings.
Same formation, pairs left, single right. Roach off a right hip. Man in motion, left to right, quick jet sweep. He fumbled the ball
Ashby
again.
Puts the ball on the ground.
Ashby fumbled the ball again, recovered by Lake at Hoover's 46-yard line, 1st and 10 Lake.
Yeah, it looked like Derlin put it right in his chest there. I don't know if it accidentally hit off the but I think they're trying to say, Derlin's trying to say he pitched it forward, but I don't think it was. I think he ran right into him. You used to see that.
Yeah.
They'd run the jet sweep and it'd be a handoff. Well, what these teams start doing is they do the little pitch because it becomes a forward pass. But
right.
I don't believe that that's what happened there.
Coach DeGeorge is on the field debating what happened. It looks like the officials are going to say just that it was a forward pass, incomplete pass, but it looked like he stuck it in there to me.
That's a huge turn of events if so. And they already moved the chains. So hopefully they know where the spot was because they're going to have to reset the chains.
Yep. And they're putting it back at the 46-yard line of Lake. It's going to be Hoover's ball.
But that's not where the fumble, that's not where, well, I guess it's an incomplete pass. So
yep.
I guess that will bring up 3rd and 7 then?
We're going to see what happens. Well, they're sorting this out still. DeGeorge is on the field still debating it.
And it's for the original official to say it's a fumble and then someone to come in from, 15 yards away and say, no, it's a forward pass is kind of a tough call. I think you've got to stick with the original call here.
Be interesting to see that one on film here this week. There's one for you to break down.
Yep. Someone's not going to be happy here no matter what. I know that.
DeGeorge is not happy, and it is going to be Hoover's ball at Lake's 46-yard line. We are on the Lake side here, and they are definitely unhappy with this call.
And here's what I'll tell you is when I look at a forward pass, did the ball gain ground? And it didn't. If you're having the ball right in front of you and you drop it into his chest, is that a forward pass? No. The ball's not moving forward.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that can be a forward pass when the ball never advanced. So I think that's a bad call by the official. They should have stuck with their original call. And it should be third down here. And they've got second down. It should be third.
They're still debating this. They're showing 2nd and 10.
And what we're seeing here is just a total lack of communication and organization by this officiating crew, unfortunately.
I think it is 2nd and 10, Drew, because they threw that pass complete out on the right side. I think that jet sweep there was just the first play after that. So I think it is 2nd and 10. Officials debating once again. I think at this point they need to make their decision and move on so they can keep the hostility away. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 21-12, Lake over Hoover. Hoover's ball. The fans are chanting something we can't repeat at the moment.
Hey, we're on YouTube. We can say it.
Oh.
They're chanting bullshit.
Okay.
FCC don't regulate us.
Yeah. You can say it, Drew. Let your mom yell at you. My dad had yelled at me 2 weeks ago for saying it. So now it's trips left. Nobody right. Roach in the backfield. Quick pull back, and he's just going to QB keep it up the middle, and he got 1 yard out of that one. Going to be 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, Derlin faked to Roach there. And we've got a score update from Mount Union. It is, from Mount Union, Larry Karras Field, it is Alliance 21, West Branch 21.
Sounds like a good game Sammy's calling over there. Sammy's used to calling a game in that stadium.
Yeah. Sam Berkwin is the voice of the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
Pairs left, pairs right. Single back, shotgun, drops back, looking left, throwing over the top. He's got a man, caught! And it's completed pass at the 17-yard line. Zach Brocker again. 1st and 10, Hoover in the Spirit of Zone red zone alert here.
I'll tell you what, Derlin's been hitting it all night. He's keeping that safety on the hash, throwing the fade right down the sideline. Lake brought the blitz, wasn't able to get home, and now huge first down after the controversial officiating. The Vikings are inside the Spirit of Stark red zone.
1:26 to play. Clock stopped here. 1st and 10. Hoover inside the red zone. Got single left, deuces right. Quick handoff up the middle.
Roach.
He should have pulled that one back. Roach got drilled behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of 2 or 3.
That was Dane Jarvis making another tackle for loss, and he's played really well tonight for this Lake defense.
Definitely stepping up on that side of the ball. 1:08 and counting in the third quarter. 21-12. We are now outside the red zone, Spirit of Stark red zone.
Yeah.
At the 21-yard line. Trips right, single left. Luke Roach off the right hip of Derlin. Getting the call from the sideline is Derlin. He's in the shotgun. He drops back. He's looking right. Quick throw. He hesitated, and he still completed it. Looks like he got several yards there. It's going to be 3rd down and about 6.
Yep. Yeah. Completes that pass right up the seam. Dylan Schneider, the safety, comes up, makes the tackle right away. But, he wanted that speed out. And like I talked about before, Lake jumped it.
Yeah.
Lake was right there, so good thing he didn't throw the speed out. But huge 3rd down as the play clock and game clock are in sync with 12 seconds to go in this third quarter.
10 seconds left in the third quarter. They're going to run a play. It's pairs left, pairs right, single back, drops back, looking left, throwing a fade over the top into the end zone. 50-50 ball, incomplete, broken up by Nate Baker.
Great coverage. They ran that fade again. Nate Baker just stayed in his hip pocket in phase, tracked the ball, went up and tipped it at the last second. So that's going to bring up a big 4th down for Hoover as the team switch fields. It's the end of the third quarter from North Canton Memorial Stadium. Don Hertler Senior Field is the Lake Blue Streaks 21, North Canton Hoover Vikings 12.
Finally, HereOhio.com player of the game. We'll announce that here towards the end of this quarter. It's still wide open. Got a couple ideas for myself right now I'll think about. Chris McCready's and his team is located at 1201 30th Street Northwest in Canton. Give them a call at 330-492-1212 or visit finallyhearohio.com. That's HEAR. Finallyhearohio.com and get a free hearing evaluation. We are back in the Spirit of Stark red zone here. Going to bring up a big 4th and 6 for Hoover.
We've got a scoreboard update. Is the McKinley Bulldogs 27, Jackson 17, as Hoover comes out for the field goal. You know, it's a tough option here. The analytics, as the Cleveland Browns would say to go for it, but Hoover's going to elect to make it a one-score game here.
Down 9, looking to be down 6. Leather on leather, kicks up, and it is good. Completed. It is good. It is 15-21. Lake still in the lead, but Hoover got within one score now. 11:58 in the fourth quarter here. Had a good one so far, back and forth.
Yeah, so big answer. After which was set up by a controversial call by the officiating. So if you didn't hear what happened, so on the last drive, it was 1st and 10. They ran jet sweep action. The player, Mason Ashby, was even with the quarterback, probably only about a foot away. They handed it off to him on the jet sweep. Fumble, Lake recovers. Officials get together. Carson Jerlin, maybe he's going to run for mayor one day because he did a great job politicking, say, no, I tossed it forward to him. They talked about it, said it was an incomplete pass, and Hoover goes down and gets 3 points out of the drive. So with just 2 seconds into the fourth quarter, it is Lake 21, Hoover 15, and the Vikings tee it up.
We've got another update over there. West Branch 28, Alliance 21. And here's a squib kick recovered by Lake, and they just lay on the ball at their own 35-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10 Lake. Pretty much all of the fourth quarter here left on the clock. 21-15 Lake over Hoover.
We are in this Hoover press box over here, which is very spacious on the visitor side, but it is a little chilly tonight. My wife is joining us, as she does from time to time, and she's a little bit cold. So she wants to see a lot of running the ball here in this fourth quarter.
It is warmer than out there, though, Lauren. It's a little windy out there. So we got a quick snap, running off tackle, Solberger up the middle. He got hit about 6 yards deep, got another couple, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 4.
Yep, and it'll be Cale Jarvis back at quarterback for the Lake Blue Streaks. But great first down yardage there. Anytime you can get 4+ yards on first down, it sets you up for a good drive.
11:35 and counting. Lake ball at their own 41-yard line. Cale Jarvis taking his time. We got another substitution in here. (11:17 and counting. 21-15 Lake. Pairs right. Solberger running off tackle. He's got all kinds of room to run. He's got a first down at their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, nice run there. Lake, they'd like to run this clock a little bit, maybe take 5 minutes off the clock, get another score, get it back to a 2-score game. But very important right now to hold on to the football. Turnovers on both sides tonight. If you want to win this game, you're going to have to protect it the rest of the way.
We got a sub in for Lake, David DeHaven. He's a 6'4", 490-pound senior. Pairs right, 2 in the backfield, shotgun. Here's a snap to Jarvis. He hands off up the middle. Solberger again. Solberger got hit. He's bouncing it out, trying to make room run, and he's got all kinds of keeps his legs moving and got a few yards out of that one.
Yeah, Hoover was right in there. It was the big defensive tackle who we called his name earlier, Brad Kormanik, in for the Vikings in the backfield. Wasn't able to bring Solberger down.
Solberger's a strong kid. He just put that stiff arm out there and just kind of kept his legs moving and grinded it out with 10:30 left to play. Clock stopped, 21-15. Lake over Hoover, 2nd down and 7. Cale Jarvis is still in at quarterback. They're packing him in this time. 2 running backs, got a tight end in the game. Man in motion from right to left. That time they handed it off to Nate Baker. He's running up the middle, and he's got nearly a first down all the way down. There's 2 flags down on the play. Now there's going to be, I think he just
flopped there.
Hey, that was a LeBron special flop right there.
Well, we do
thankfully it was no call, but flags down prior to that. We'll see what that was. There was 2 different flags down.
Yeah, it's going to be a holding call on Lake. And then after the play, big offensive tackle for Lake, number 71, gets over there. And he's an intimidating guy. And Luke Roach pulled his best LeBron. He ran right into his belly, flailed his arms, and fell on the ground. But if this was soccer or the NBA, you might get that call, but not here. But nevertheless, holding is the call on the Lake Blue Streaks. We're going to repeat second down now, and it's going to be 2nd and 14.
Jarvis still in the game. Pairs right, single left. Solberger in the backfield. Offset fullback. Here's the snap. Running right, looking right, throwing right. Nearly picked off, but it's caught. Nate Baker complete all the way down to the 31-yard line. Great. He threw a dime, nearly got picked, but
I thought it was an interception.
He roped that one in there, threaded that needle, completed pass, 1st and 10. Lake at Hoover's 31.
He was a little bit late on that, but got away with it, was able to thread the needle there. Baker, was that Baker or Schneider on the catch there?
That was Nate Baker.
The great catch by him going to the ground. Huge conversion. So, if you're Lake now, you're in position to put some more points on the board. Those safeties are inching up. I'm waiting to see that post route again because it is there.
And it looks like we have a timeout now. Timeout Lake with 9:47 to play. It's 1st and 10 at their Hoover's 31-yard line. 9:47 left. Lake is up 21-15. Getting interesting now, Drew. Will the defense rise? We'll see.
Yeah, Hoover's in desperate need of a stop here. They can't allow Lake to put another score on the board to make it a 2-score game. And Lake, if I'm Hoover here, I say, hey, can you run the ball on me without, Butler in the game? So, I cover these receivers pretty tight. Roll with a 6 or 7 man box.
And Will Butler is checked back in at quarterback.
And there's your answer. Lake thinks, we'll rather run the ball with Butler and a quarterback.
Well, it gives Hoover something else to account for, right?
Yeah.
9:47 to play.
And I'd like to see a play action here. I think they're in a good spot for it.
Pairs
so
right.
See what happens.
2 running backs in the backfield. Handoff. He just kept it, and he tried to make a guy miss. He cut it back on his own. He's got room to run. He's at the 30, the 20. Slowed up, going down, still making his legs move all the way to the 10. They can't tackle him. All the way down to the 10-yard line is Will Butler, and we got a late flag after the tackle. Looks like a personal foul. Don't know on who.
Yeah, so Will Butler tries to run off tackle to the right, doesn't see anything there, breaks a tackle in the backfield, cuts it back against the grain. There was good movement on the backside, and he was able to rumble for 20 yards all the way inside of the 10-yard line. And the officials, once again, are huddling here. A little confusion there.
And I'm thinking this might be on Lake. Solberger was fired up. He was getting in the face of one of his teammates.
It's been a little chippy down there. Here's the thing. You got to protect your quarterback.
It's on Hoover. Oh, it's offsetting personal fouls. So nobody hurt there. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line for Lake.
Are they going to say it's on the 11?
Offsetting. I thought he was down there to like the 10 or 9. That just puts him in a spot where they can get a first down still. 9:33 to play in the game. Single left, pairs right. 2 in the backfield, shotgun to Butler. Here's a snap, quick fake handoff, and he pulled it back, and Butler's up the middle. He's got a bunch of room to run all the way down to the 4-yard line for Butler. Going to bring up 2nd down and 3 at the 4-yard line. Going hurry up offense, pairs right, single left. You got to figure Butler's probably just going to tuck and run here a few times, and he does just that. Running up the middle, he got tackled by a boatload of Vikings on that one. 9 minutes and counting in the 4th quarter, 21-15 Lake.
And that was the big junior, Brady Sullivan, shedding the block on the goal line and hitting Butler right in the chest, able to take him down.
We're in the spirit of Stark. Red zone alert here. It's 3rd down and 4 at the 5-yard line.
And you're thinking touchdown here. I mean, I'd like to see them be aggressive. They have to kick the field goal in, but I'd like to see them throw the ball here. We'll
Trips
see what
left,
happens.
single right. Butler's just keeping it right up the middle. He's running
Oh,
hard. He
broke 3
avoided
tackles.
tackled,
Wow.
and he went in for the touchdown. Lake Will Butler up the middle, touchdown.
It's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. You know, hey, if you're Hoover, you know, the defensive coordinator, you're saying, we got 3 guys there.
Yeah.
We hit him at the 4-yard line. He breaks 1 tackle. He takes on 2 other people at the 1-yard line. What can you do? You know, Lake doesn't even have to block you at that point.
Not much you can do.
3rd rushing touchdown of the night for Will Butler.
27-15. The PAT is coming here in a moment. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is good. And it's still getting a little bit chippy. No. 28-15. Lake over Hoover. 8:27 to play in the 4th quarter. Hoover down 2 scores. They got to get busy.
Yeah, a couple score updates for you here. It is the McKinley Bulldogs 33, Jackson 17. All right, here
Running away with
it is 28-15, Lake over Hoover.
Got Glen Oak winning 28-13
over Louisville
over
there.
Louisville. Hoover's got to come up with some answers here. Going to have to field this kickoff, maybe get a good return, get down there, get it in the end zone, and 3 timeouts left.
And another score update within the Federal League. It is now Green 31, Perry 14.
Wow, like we said, Jekyll and Hyde over there in Perry.
Yeah. So Hoover's going to have to do something and do it quick. There's 8 minutes to go here. They're down 13 points. Let's see if Lake decides to kick it to Mason Ashby.
And here's leather on leather. Here's the kick. Squib, low one. It is fielded.
That is dangerous.
At the 18-yard line. He's got room to run out to the left. He's in a slot. He's running to the 30, 35, 38, 39-yard line. Good return there.
And it's going to be
And there's a
back.
late flag on Hoover.
There's going to be both flags. There's a holding call right about the 20-yard line, and then we're going to get a dead ball penalty. So I imagine they're going to walk them both off.
It was a late hit at the end of the play. 8:18 to play. Hoover down 2 scores, 28-15. We got a personal foul on Lake. We got a holding on Hoover. So we'll let them sort this out.
So we've got a live ball foul and a dead ball foul. So I would imagine they're going to walk it off 10 from there and march back 15 the other way.
Or do good math and just walk at 5.
You'd think it works that way, but it doesn't.
So he was walking it back his 10, and he's going to come back forward 5.
You come back 15.
Or I'm sorry, yeah. Net 5. So 8:18 to play. Lake is up 28-15 over Hoover. It's Hoover's ball at their own 21-yard line, 1st and 10. They've got 3 timeouts left. They've got to get up, got to get a quick score here and try to get the ball back. Pairs left, pairs right. Roach in the backfield off the left hip. Quick pull back, fake handoff, throw into the middle of the field, completed. Going to be 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, just kind of a
Jeremy Kish over the middle.
A little snag concept there. They put Ashby in motion. He runs a bubble. They run the hitch to the inside when the flat defender clears out. Derlin throws it right in the hole. 9-yard gain on 1st down.
Jeremy Kish on that completed pass. We got pairs left again, pairs right. Roach off the left hip, drops back, looking right, got drilled, sacked. How much for room service?
Jody Garrow.
Garrow in there again. These guys have been flying in there all night. These linebackers been in there like crazy.
So
7:37 to play.
So that's Garrow's second sack of the night. He had the strip and recovery earlier. So 2 big plays out of Joey Garrow there on the defense.
You got Dane Jarvis too. You know, we came in here thinking Evan Brady's had a great year so far, and he's been in top leader and everything.
And he's played well tonight.
And he has played well. We've got these This trio of linebackers is no joke.
So 3rd and 10 now for Carson Derlin.
Trips left, single right, drops back, looking to pass, clean
Pressure
pocket. Now
again.
he's rolling back out right, cut it back to the right, tackled again. Going to bring up 4th down for Hoover. Going to be 4th and 9.
Yep, and that was number 48 for Lake.
Bryce Talkington, 6'3", 245-pound
Tight end,
senior.
D end, and a huge stop for Lake.
And Lake Hoover is going to punt from their own 26-yard line on 4th and 9.
I expect a healthy dose of Solberger and Will Butler here for the Lake Blue Strings. So we got a shank, a short punt.
Terrible punt, and it is to the 44-yard line. Lake's going to take over at Hoover's 44-yard line. 1st and 10, Lake. I think maybe they just wanted to punt away from Dylan Snyder back there, and it got away from him.
Yeah.
It looks like Will Butler is going to stay in the game at QB. 6:31 to play. And Hoover's got to come up with something here. Lake's in their end zone. Or their side of the field. You got to figure they're going to run the rock, make Hoover stop them, run the clock.
Solberger and Butler here.
Heavy dose of that. Pairs left, single right, fullback in the game. Solberger off the left hip of Butler. Man in motion, Nate Baker running left to right. Quick handoff to Solberger up the middle. He's got a ton of room to run.
Big hole.
And he got 6 yards on that one.
Big hole there by the Lake offensive line. I mean, he was untouched for the first 5 yards.
David DeHaven checks in for Dylan Snyder.
Yeah, when you see Snyder and Baker both come out of the game, one guess what the next play is going to be. It's going to be a run play.
I'm going to go Will Butler or Solberger on this one. Pairs right, single left, fullback still in the game. Taking his time to snap the ball as he should. Here's the snap. Solberger up the middle, running off tackle up the middle. Got tons of room to run to the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15. Made one heck of a run. Spin move at the end all the way down to the 10-yard line for Soul Man Matt Solberger.
Yeah, you know, Lake pulled around there. The guard led up on the front side linebacker. Solberger stayed on his outside shoulder. Legs churning all the way down to the 12-yard line. And Lake is in position to put the nail in the Viking coffin.
5:29 to play, 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. They can still get a first down. Pairs right, single left. Solberger in the backfield. Quick snap, handoff to Solberger again. He's running left, bounced it back out, cut it back right, running touchdown Lake. He leaped into the end zone, touchdown Lake. Matt Solberger.
And he is over 100 with that run. He's over 120 yards rushing on the day. He's got into the end zone for a touchdown. So that is 4 rushing touchdowns for the Lake Blue Streaks, and they take a 34-15 lead over the Hoover Vikings.
That might be the nail in the coffin, like you said. 5:09 to play. Lake PAT about to come up.
Matt Solberger's dad, I see him in the stands there, recognize him from all the stuff he sends us. He's celebrating.
He's definitely active on Twitter with us. And the PAT is up, and it is good. It is 35-15, Lake over Hoover with 5:09 to play in the game. This one has gotten away from Hoover. They're down 3 scores now. I've seen stranger things happen. I'm a Browns fan, so I've seen it all. But you got to figure
you ain't lying.
Pretty tough at this juncture for Hoover. We'll see what's happening.
Yeah, we're gonna have a tough decision here. Our final year of Ohio Player of the Game. I mean, Jarvis.
Oh, not for me.
Jarvis has made some unreal throws.
He has.
Will Butler 3 rushing touchdowns. Solberger 120 and a touchdown. Joey Garrow some nice plays on defense.
That's a good point. That's a great point. Dane Jarvis Garrow had a good game.
Really team effort. You know, that's the way it should be.
Well,
right?
and that's what we've seen out of Lake. They got so many weapons that you know, guys are stepping up making plays when they need to. 5:09 to play. Hoover down 20. Kickoff's about to happen. McKinley now leads Jackson 40-17 with 8:45 in the game. Kick is up, and it is a line drive again, low, and they booted it, and they got it back at their own 34-yard line. They've had all kinds of trouble with that squib kick. Almost coughed it up again, but they did get it back.
Yeah, so Hoover down 20, 5 minutes to go. You think Carson Derlin's going to try to let it rip here. If you're Lake, I'd like to see you continue to bring some pressure. You know, don't let them sit back there and pick you apart. Bring some pressure. Let your athletes roam back there. Try to maybe force a turnover. He's had some success throwing the fades on the whole shot there between the corner and the safety, so we'll see if they come back to that. Also, you know, Lake may be playing off, maybe throw the ball real quick to Mason Ashby. So we've got a new running back in the game with Luke Roach hampering an ankle injury.
Compares left, single right, quick handoff up the middle, and he is stuffed at the line. No gain at all.
And that could be the white flag there for Hoover. You know, with 5 minutes to go, down 20, running the ball.
That was Dane Jarvis on the tackle for Lake. And we've got a final at Fairless over Manchester, 40-14. I said it'd be a 30-point victory, but it was only 26.
Yeah, your Fairless Falcons bounce back after two tough losses.
Pairs left, single right, 2nd down and 9 play here. Almost fumbled by the running quarterback. He did get it handed off, and he got drilled. Cooper Westfall got drilled after a gain of 5.
I mean, yeah, with 5 minutes left, you know, it is tough to come back, but I still, you want your kids to fight.
Yeah.
Maybe throw the ball around a little bit. Try to get something positive, a positive drive. You've struggled on offense this second half. So, maybe you've got 3 points. Try to get some rhythm, something going for the next game.
4:07 and counting. 3rd down play here. They do drop back, and they do throw, and he falls down, nearly picked off by Dylan Snyder. Quarterback Carson Derlin rolled back, had pressure, rolled left, tried to throw the ball, and nearly fell down. Still got the ball away, nearly got picked off, but got broken up by Dylan Snyder.
Yep, so.
It's going to bring up 4th down, and Hoover's just going to go ahead and punt. And it looks like they're just going to concede this one with 3:59 to play. Well, Drew, I would say we've got 3 candidates for the final here. I would say it's between Will Butler, Dane Jarvis, and Joey Garrow.
And here's the thing. Though. Will Butler, he did run the ball really well, but if not for the throws of Cale Jarvis to get them in the red zone, does he have those opportunities? So I think it's tough. I'm good with whatever you choose.
I think my vote is Joey Garrow. The pressure he had,
nice
he had some tackles, he had some sacks come in there, it's some key points of the game.
Let's take a look at the numbers.
Yeah.
And we'll see what it says.
Dane Jarvis had a couple, so we'll figure it out. It's always easier to give it to the quarterback,
Yeah.
And that seems to be more common.
And he's a 2-time winner of our Finally Here Ohio.com Player of the Game.
Quick snap, handoff to Solberger up the middle, and they still cannot tackle these runners. He's got, it looks like a rugby match at this point. He got hit 6 yards gain, and he got 10 out of that one. So it's going to be, I think, 1st and 10, Lake at the 41-yard line.
And here's the other thing. He's been the constant tonight for Lake. Whether, it's Butler in at quarterback, whether it's Jarvis in at quarterback, Matt Solberger's having a great game. He's got 130 yards rushing now. He's got the touchdown. I'm
going to leave this one up to you, Drew. Different running back in. He got tackled there.
Got the JV crew in now.
It's going to be 3rd. They didn't get a 1st down on that first play, so it's 3rd down and 1.
So we're in the final 3 minutes now. Lake is going to move to 7-1 on the season. One of their best seasons in a long time. They've got Perry and Green coming up to finish their Federal League slate. Last we heard, Green was up big on Perry. Perry seems to be fading as this season's coming along here. And we also have a score update for you. West Branch 34, Lions 28. So 2 winnable games here for Lake to finish strong and finish the season. And then you look at this Hoover team. you know, they obviously, they've got Green next week, as we've got a big run here out of Lake's backup running back.
He ran up off tackle, bounced it outside, got it all the way down to the 38-yard line. Great run there to the backup running back. That was Joseph Esposito. He's a sophomore, 5'9", 170-pound sophomore.
Yeah, so Hoover's got Green and Jackson coming up. Hoover looks to be in the playoffs in Region 7 right now, but another win will definitely help their seeding.
Pairs right, single left. Different running back in now. QB keeper, he runs left. Stiff-armed and ran over him all the way down to the 30-yard line. Going to be 2nd down and 4. .151 to play. Clock has stopped after that play. It's 35-15 Lake.
Yeah, so second half here, what is it, 21-3 outscored in the second half there by the Lake Blue Streaks. Pretty impressive. Defense really stepped up, caused some turnovers, kept Mason Ashby in check in this game.
Quick handoff off tackle to Andrew, number 26, the Benvenuto, I think. Benvenuto. Got the JV squad in here. Quarterback is now Noah Kubaski, a 6'3", 200-pound sophomore. Big kid, especially for a sophomore. See if he just hands the ball off or he throws a rock at all. We got pairs right, single left, single back, 120 and counting. Looks like Lake's just going to take their time and run as much clock as they can here. Another handoff off tackle up the middle, tackled, and going to bring up 4th down and 1 for Lake. Clock is still running, 1:05 left. By the time they run this play, whether they get a first down or not, there's only going to be about 20 seconds left in the game. If they get the first down, it's pretty much over, folks. Drew's going to go and grab some stats from the guys so we can figure out our finally here Ohio player of the game. 41 seconds and counting here. 35-15. Lake still over Hoover. Pairs right, single left, single back. Quick handoff up the middle. They're running, and he's got room to run. And it's a first down, Lake, and that's going to be the game, folks. 27 seconds left. They're just going to be able to run this clock out, and it's going to be a final. Lake 35 over Hoover 15. Great game. Lake took control of it here in the second half, outscored them 21-3, just to run away with it.
And our finally here Ohio player of the game is going to be Joey Garrow for the Lake Blue Streaks. Bunch of tackles on defense. He forced a fumble, recovered a fumble, had the 1 sack, maybe another sack as well.
Yeah.
He had a pass breakup as well. He was all over the field. So congratulations to number 4, junior, 6', 195, Joey Garrow. So, like we said, final score, Lake 35, Hoover 15. Lake will move to 7-1 on the season, and the Hoover Vikings will fall to 5-3. That's going to wrap it up for us here.
It's a good game.
Yep. And like we said, we'll thank all of our sponsors one more time. It'll be C.H. Vallis and Associates, our title sponsor. Call them at 330-494-2776 or visit them online at chvallosinsurance.com. If you need a quote, just give them a call and request it. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, there's no job too big or too small. Call them at 330-606-1126. The Quarry Golf and Event Center, they brought you our score updates all night. One of the best courses in Ohio. But even in the off-season, make sure you're checking out the Granite Grill down there and call them for your events. 330-488-3178. Leathernecks Nation MC, they've got that great Halloween party coming up next week. Check them out. leathernecksnationmc.com. St. Joseph Senior Living in the Alsatian over there in Louisville. Ben Wallenberg's Gourmet's Chocolates and Fresh Roasted Nuts, 2520 Harrison Avenue Northwest, Go check them out tomorrow. You need stuff for the Buckeyes game. You need stuff for the Browns game. Have some little sweet, little salty in your life. Get down there. Ben Wallenberg's Chocolates. And Simon Says Promotions. Pretty much involved in every business in the city of Massillon. So thanks for JP Simon for his support. And the Spirit of Stark. They're doing T-shirts. They're doing screen printing. They're doing everything that you need. You need T-shirts in a bind. Call Spirit of Stark. They can pump out 1,500 for you in one night. And again, finallyhereohio.com. Finallyhereohio.com. Player of the game is from the Lake Blue Streak defense, and that's Joey Garrow. He had a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, a sack, a couple other tackles, and a pass breakup. So congratulations to the junior Joey Garrow there. Check us out on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. For Jeff Tyler's Drew Sarachman signing off on your Stark Media Team YouTube stream game of the week from North Canton Memorial Stadium. It is the Lake Blue Streaks 35, North Canton Hoover Vikings 15.